The following is a presentation of Flow Sports. In this sport, everything begins in the dirt.
How you like me now?
Race against some of the best I ever know.
For more than 20 years, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series has set the standard. The best drivers.
Top place to park, gave us some girls that stole her hearts, gave us some books up on the wall, the way we live and the way we talk, gave us state that senior year, them country stores to buy that beer, a place to go, nobody knows where you take it in and you take it slow, like that river rolls where that green grass grows. I can't explain it.
FloRacing studios live from Bloomington, Illinois. Oh, and he catches the wall again, and he catches just like a hot night in brew butter around this quarter-mile oval. Ricky Orton Jr. Hudson O'Neal.
Out of Oakwood, Illinois, it's Bobby Pierce with his first series win of the year.
Part of his Till I Can't, I Will tour. May's a busy month for Dylan, from California to Texas, and even in our home state of Illinois. Check out DylanScottCountry.com for tour dates. You can get merchandise there, tickets, and more. And we cannot thank Dylan enough again for providing the official anthem for our tour. This town has been too good to us. Welcome to our Bloomington, Illinois studios and night number 2 of the 2026 season of FloRacing Night in America as our midweek series rolls on yet again right here in the land of Lincoln. We got things kicked off last night, finally, after a rainout at LaSalle with a Brandon Shepard victory at Spoon River. In just about 59 miles later tonight, we have arrived at Lincoln Speedway, another $20,000 contest on tap. I'm Michael Rigsby. Thank you for joining us again. And I wanted to point this out before I brought in my co-host, Kevin Kovac. I grew up in Illinois, right? I live in Bloomington, born and raised here in this state. I think I can kind of take it for granted sometimes how close some of these racetracks are to this central hub that we have right here in Bloomington. But I really want the audience who will be watching from around the nation tonight to not lose sight of how amazing Illinois Speed Week is geographically. Producer Kane, throw that graphic up that we made here. Here's the distance traveled each week. From night 1 at LaSalle to Spoon River, 98 miles. From Spoon River to Lincoln, just 59 miles. From Lincoln tonight to Farmer City tomorrow for the Lucas Oil Show, 47 miles. And then Farmer City to Fairbury, just 46 miles. In total, you can get 5 races in this week for a grand total of 250 miles. That is what makes this week so special. Lucas Outlaw, some of those guys, they may go, 4 hours, 5 hours between shows. In total this week, 250 miles between all 5. which is really, really cool. And I wanted to illustrate that mathematically so you could get a good look at that. My co-host every night for our pre-race show is my good friend Kevin Kovac, who joins me now from his Pennsylvania home. Kevin, there's not a lot of places that can pull off. You're in one state that maybe could in Pennsylvania, but maybe not that close. The crowds that we're talking about every night, the events that we're talking about, the campers and everything that was at Spoon River last night, that's one of these things that makes Illinois special, Kevin. Those are tiny distances between these racetracks every night this week.
Yeah, it's not that. Remember when we went from Kankakee to Cedar Lake for the Summer Nationals? What was that, 8 hours overnight?
Yes, yes.
We got a bear crossing in front of us on the highway and all in the middle of the night and stuff. But it's so much. Pennsylvania here, there are tracks close by. You got Williams Grove, Sealands Grove, Port Royal, Lincoln. There's Central PA has a lot of tracks nearby, but not like this. They're not late model world, that's for sure. Not the late model Central like this is. And man, I look at those those little distances in between, and that's kind of what I love, that part of the Speed Week where just like the caravan just moves to the next town, and it's not like some long overnight haul. Everybody just goes down. You're probably going to see haulers. You're probably going to see other race fans in their vans and campers and cars and stuff going down the highway with you. You just take the circus to the next stop close by. I think that's always like a real good attraction of the Speed Week in Illinois.
We got done early enough last night at Spoon River. The late model feature was 9:12 Central that I got pictures from guys by 10:30 who were in the Steak and Shake parking lot in Lincoln already last night. They were all kind of caravan together right next to the racetrack there. Speaking of Spoon River last night, Brandon Shepard gets to win. Sheppy, Huddy, Bobby Turbo, Devin Moran, Nick Hoffman, Brandon Overton, Tanner English, Shannon Babb, Kyle Bronson, your top 10. Sheppy led that race flag to flag. Not the greatest race in the world, but really kind of a solid night there. It's easy for me to say this, Kevin. I wished Hudson had stayed on the bottom last night. Hudson's going to go, what the hell do you know about driving a car? And you're right, Hud, I don't know a lot. He made that bonsai move on the top. I kind of wanted him to stay on the bottom, but either a pretty interesting night at Spoon River last night.
Yeah, well, it seemed like Sheppy had finally moved down a little bit, though. Like he was in that lap traffic. I mean, I thought Hudson was going right by him. It looked like he's coming up, and he's just going to go right by him because Sheppy just kept sliding off high off of two. And I don't know if it was maybe the lap car made him stay down. I mean, to a little bit more, and I think he realized it almost. And I feel like Hudson had to do that at that point. He had to go try something because he wasn't going to get him on the bottom. It felt like it was a weird sort of like Spoon River. It wasn't a bad race at all. I mean, there was there was passing, there was movement going on, there was side by side, but it was like that outside or middle wasn't quite good enough for guys to go around. Because I think was it Devin Moran and Nick Hoffman running for fifth there for, I don't know, the last 10 laps.
Yeah. And
they were just side by side, but like Hoffman could not quite get by. There wasn't quite enough traction up there. And that kind of, I don't know, I mean, would they have done anything different if they could have worked on the track beforehand? I don't know. It was getting cold and, I don't know how much the watering a track before a race, like when it's cold out, helps. So, but I think it was still entertaining race. I love Spoon River.
To touch on that, Matt Curl was actually the promoter of the event last night and said the reason they didn't prep the track a ton was just the temperatures, right? It was almost 49 to 50 at the time of the feature. He goes, if I go dump water on this, it's a 2-hour problem. So he said, we rolled the dice, had a decent show. One last thing, too, last night, Carson Hocevar competes. He wins Talladega 2 weeks ago. We kind of joked about him being at the Met Gala, and he posted on Facebook after a really rough night last night, they actually flew back to Charlotte this morning to hit the sim and then are flying back to Lincoln tonight on the Spire private jet. Just goes to show you how good these dirt late model guys are, Kevin. This guy wins Talladega 2 weeks ago, and I love Carson. He's an ultra talented driver. He put on Facebook, his words, not mine, got our butt kicked. These guys are pretty good.
Yeah. This doesn't even have a dozen late model races under his belt, I don't think. So this is really, really new. It's not like Kyle Larson jumping into a late model when he has so much dirt experience in all kinds of other divisions. So he's definitely humble about it, But again, he still is the first guy to go from the Met Gala over to a dirt track. So he does have that going for him. I thought it was pretty neat too. Kyle McFadden was there covering it for us for Dirt on Dirt, and he noted that the Spire Motorsports owner was there. The team owner was at the track, and he had actually raced at at a Spoon River years ago in a midget and rolled it. So I thought that was a pretty neat little sideline there that the owner was there watching him.
Jeff Dickerson has become a pretty good friend, one of the first subscribers to Dirt on Dirt back in the day, actually, the Spire Motorsports owner. Late model checkered flew last night at 9:12. I'd expect more of the same tonight. It's a Bob Sargent show, so it'll be a fast-paced one at Lincoln. Let's take a look at that again. Same format as last night, just 2 classes, late model hot laps, mod hot lap and qualifying. Late models and mods alternate all night, with the late models being the first class that will run all night long. The roster tonight looks an awful lot like it did last night, but I did do 2 pages instead of 1 tonight just because the field is so good. This is the first page that I showed you yesterday from Spoon River. Again, this roster: Bobby, RTJ, Nick Hoffman, Hudson, Turbo, who has a good run last night, Devin Moran, Shepard, Gustin, Alberson, Shirley, and again, the NASCAR star Carson Hocevar, but a whole host of other guys as well, from Jason Fager to Shannon Babb to Kyle Bronson, Josh Rice, Dan Ebert, who continues to get better and better, Dotson, Unzicker, Clay Harris, Herb Jr., Brandon Overton, who it sounds like in that unbelievably looking Bud 76 will run the entire FloRacing Night in America schedule, it sounds like. So very excited to have Brandon on board. It's only one night, Kevin, but we have to look at point standings. They all count. It's a 10-race mini-series, basically, so it's a 10% of the schedule. Shepard, Hudson, Bobby Pierce, Turbo, Moran, Hoffman, and leave this up, Kane. How about that top 10, Kevin? And listen, like I said, I don't love to talk points always, but hey, we're 1 out of 11 races done, so you kind of got to start talking about them right away, Yeah.
I mean, you look at that top 7 especially. I
know.
And Tyler Erb doesn't have as many wins as the others, but that is the 7 guys. 6 of the 7 guys are the biggest winners of the season so far. They all have multiple wins, and Tyler Erb has raced as much as anybody, and he's been as a contender in plenty of races this year. He just doesn't have the numbers yet on the victory totals, but man, that's one heck of a top 7 right there.
It is. I really like that. The winner at the end of the year at Sonoy in November will bring home $75,000 for the first place prize. I wanted to get that out there again. A reminder: this is a 11-race mini-series where a winner is going to get $75,000. It has been a hell of a fun ride the last 4 or 5 years. Is once again the Peach State Classic at the Pollard Family Oval. It's Sonoy in November. Someone takes that home. And of course, the schedule looks like this. I'll show you the whole thing again. Spoon River, we kicked it off last night. The big headline on here is we have rescheduled LaSalle. LaSalle Speedway has been rescheduled, Kevin Kovac, for September 15th. That is the World 100 to Knoxville. They cross right on I-80, right on their way to Knoxville. They couldn't go any more by LaSalle Speedway. So that is slots right in there for a beautiful Tuesday night in the fall, Kevin, at the Izzo Family Oval. I think we keep Kevin Kovac on the road from the World to LaSalle to Knoxville. Kevin, what do you think?
I've done that before when Fairbury was right in between the two, right? The road to Knoxville there. So I could maybe make that work, right?
I got COVID that year, so first year I got COVID.
That was a bad year for the situation. I remember that World 100. Right?
It was. We look forward to a couple new races too in Mason City Motor Speedway and Lincoln Park and Putnamville there September 23rd. Yesterday I introduced the surprise guest segment with Kovac where he had no idea who was going to be on. We're going to do that again tonight here in the next break. It's the same thing, Kovac. I'm pretty excited about our surprise guest for you tonight. And we'll also take a look at the biggest headlines around the industry, and Todd Turner will join us well. You're watching FloRacing Night in America. We'll be back after this.
This isn't just a shop.
You have to fight to pull ahead, to find your edge, to do whatever it takes to make you 1/10 of a second faster, smarter, more committed than the other guy, because you've got the kind of passion that can overcome the impossible. And we've got the most powerful performance race fuel available to help you do it. Sunoco Race Fuels. Take the lead.
MD3, the most advanced body panels on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looks so good. MD3, the #1 body choice for top dirt racers.
We tune in to Flow and watch pretty much any race we want. This is our Daytona 500. This is it.
The largest crowd.
It's the biggest race of the year.
Destiny fulfilled.
This is the biggest race I've ever won.
Dirt Late Model Series in America.
This is exactly the group you need to put on a big event like this.
The biggest night in pavement late model racing history.
High Limit Racing.
You're watching the greatest sprint car drivers in the world right here on FloRacing.
Eibach Pro Truck Lift Stage 3R. Proudly made in the USA. Designed for the most rugged and demanding off-road trails. Featuring front 2.5-inch coilovers and rear 2.5-inch reservoir shocks. Developed to provide maximum traction, consistency, and control off-road and on-road.
Dave Poske's Performance Parts has been serving the Ohio River Valley and the entire country since 1978. Our staff consists of fellow racers and crew members who combine for over 100 years of experience in the racing industry. Poske's is also the home to Hoosier Tire Ohio Valley and Octane Race Products. We have what you need when you need it and ship nationwide daily. Visit us in Parkersburg, West Virginia or online at Poske.com.
Trying to thread the needle down the front straightaway, but the gap closes up. Ricky Thornton Jr. is going to have one final opportunity to reel in the 99. Thornton goes high, tries to get a run down the back straightaway. They head into 3 and 4 for the final time. The 99's too far out front. Your winner tonight at Lincoln Speedway is going to be Devin Moran.
Devin Moran picked up last year's FloRacing Night in America event at Lincoln Speedway. Was up big early, and he kind of had to hold off a rally from a charging Ricky Thornton Jr. late. Kevin Kovac and I back on our FloRacing Night in America pre-race show. Kevin, Lincoln is one of the more interesting tracks sort of in America and in Illinois to me. On the surface, it looks like any other black dirt Illinois bull ring, but it's a little tighter, it's a little snugger, and the way it sort of flattens out to that wall, you can run it and scrape it the entire way around. You've been to Lincoln many times. It's not Farmer City, it's not Fairbury, it's sort of its own animal. Wouldn't you agree, Kevin?
Yeah, you get the feel of those two tracks, with the black dirt and, the fairgrounds there. The covered grandstand, which, the first time I don't think they even had that covered grandstand. The first time I ever went, I think they added that over the top of over the bleachers. I remember after a time or two that I was there, but yeah, the straightaways are just longer and the corners are tighter. It just has that, it has like sub qualities of the other two tracks that you mentioned, but then it has its own look to it because of that longer straightaway and the tighter corners. They kind of throw that car in there in the corners and just come right back down the other way. There's not it's not a sweeping turn at all, and but they can get up on the top and race. I don't know if they can run the bottom as well there as they can at like a Fairbury or a Farmer City. It seems like the top is the spot more at Lincoln than it is at the other tracks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to another awesome show there tonight. We kicked off a brand new segment last night, giving a nod to the guys with the Smart List podcast, the Will Arnett podcast, the Jason Bateman podcast, where I have a guest on in the second segment that Kovac has no clue who this is until the moment that they appear on screen. Last night, it was Hunt the Front's Joshua Joyner, who is a mentor. Kevin mentored him, and they've worked together a lot, so that was exciting. We talk about tonight's race, we talk about the sport as a whole and so forth. I am very, 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 very excited for tonight's guest. On the air with us now, surprise to Kevin, is not only a man who is an incredibly accomplished racer, but is Kevin Kovac's hero in life. It's none other than Billy Pouch joins us on the air.
Look at this guy right here.
For the FloRacing Night in America. Kevin, how excited are you to see Billy Pouch on your screen right now?
I had a feeling that Michael Rigsby might try to work this in here, with this secret guest here eventually. And here he is coming straight from New Jersey, right?
Billy, I want to ask you this first. How annoying was Kevin Kovac as a kid following you around? That's the first question I have for you. He's the president of your fan club, Billy.
He was all right. He wasn't that bad. Him and young Swanson there, they always hung out together a lot, and they're good kids.
Do you remember your earliest memories of Kevin? Do you remember thinking like, man, this guy's really a fan? Like some would say he's your biggest non-family fan ever. Do you remember thinking that? Like, this guy really loves me.
Back in the 80s there, we had a lot of people that really was into dirt modified racing and followed me and stuff. And Kevin was one of the biggest. There was a few, but yeah, he was one of the biggest. He got his father to take him up to Fulton and follow me all over the Northeast here when I raced the modifieds.
Before Kevin goes with some of his questions, obviously we're a pre-race show for a dirt late model series, Billy. I know you didn't spend a ton or any really time in dirt late models in your career. Just generally, what do you make of dirt late model racing? And just kind of what do you, as we sit here in 2026, what do you see when you look at dirt late models?
I don't know. They seem pretty complicated. You know, the older you get, the more stuff gets complicated, and they kind of spilled over into the modifieds here. We're on coils now with left side bandards and bouncing all over the place. And we got spring smashers, just a lot more technology they brought into racing. And, you know, I always say a sprint car is a lazy man's race car because there ain't much to it. Then you get a modified, you got 15 million body panels, you got to strip off, wash, and everything. And then when you really want to work, you get a late model, and they got bells and whistles all over them. They got, they're just so complicated to work on. They're just, I don't know how they do it.
Kevin, I'll leave you the floor now to talk to your hero, Billy Pouch. Go ahead. Anything you want to fire at him, go ahead.
Well, I know Billy ran a late model a couple times. He ran in 1988 back at Hagerstown in the first Oktoberfest. Bobby Allen's car, the 55 car, although it got rained out, the feature. They had the pouch. Do you remember the pouch shuttle, Billy, that they would take you to each of your sprint car, big block, and late model?
Yeah, I remember that. That was number 55, wasn't his car? 55,
right, yep.
Bobby Allen. Yeah, and I forget who his main driver was, but yeah, I guess it was big block, small block, and or was it sprint?
Sprint cars. I think the 126 sprint car, wasn't it, or maybe? Or...
Yeah, I think it was sprints, modifieds, and late models at first, and then they added small blocks, and then at the end there, I'd run the sprint, the modified, and the small block, and I kind of gave up on the late model. That was way too many 4 divisions in one day. 3's enough, you know. That's 250 laps. 350 laps would be pretty awesome, you know.
Well, I know also when you were. Back in the day, you know, like I was in a lot of victory lane photos with you, right? I mean, how many times, how many
yes,
pictures?
You were. Yep.
Billy has like this great, you know, at his shop. There's all kinds of old pictures, all the old trophies. Really a good museum there. And Ty Swanson and I think we show up quite a few times, I think.
Yep. You guys probably are in more victory lane pictures than anybody in my shop. You know, it's just it's cool. It's cool because, you know, to me, to have the people around me in victory lane are the people that, you know, not necessarily you just kind of popped in, but all the crew and the owners and stuff that you dealt with through the years and stuff, and kind of look back on that. And then there's you and Ty Swanson popping into the picture too.
Hey, you had a crew guy, Nicky. Remember Nicky? He was always like, "Come on in here. Let's go over here. Get in the picture." You know,
Nicky Lombardi. Yeah. Yep.
It sounds to me like, Kevin, you were
a couple weeks ago.
You were an unwanted guest. It sounds to me like, Kevin, you weren't supposed to be in these victory lane photos. Is what I'm hearing.
When you're a big fan, you got to be able to get in the. You know, I remember going under the grandstand, rolling underneath the catch fence at Ransomville when he won the Summer Nationals in '88, and the race actually went an extra lap because they threw the white flag instead of the checker, and the cars were still going around, but I knew it was the end of the race, so did make it in the victory lane there.
Billy, one question I have for you is Illinois is probably not a place you ran a ton in your career, if ever. This may be a silly question. Did you ever run in the state of Illinois? It's obviously a big late model state. Did you ever race here?
Isn't Springfield in Illinois?
Yeah, the mile. Good one. Good point. Yeah, Springfield is.
I ran the champ cars there. 83, I think it was. I ran Silver Crown cars at Springfield, and I don't know.
Probably DuQuoin, Billy? Probably DuQuoin. But DuQuoin.
Yeah, I ran DuQuoin. Yeah, DuQuoin and Springfield. I ran them 2 tracks. Yeah.
Okay. I wondered about that. So you never got to tackle one of these bull rings, one of these big cushion quarter-mile bull rings in Illinois. You never got to tackle one of those?
No, they were all big tracks I ran.
Okay. Well, Kevin,
He could
before
have run. I think he could have run that one of those the cushion though. I think he could run the cushion, right?
Yeah, I've run enough cushions.
What's the best Northeast cushion? If like Fairbury is known for the best Midwestern cushion, what Northeastern track is like, oh, this place is the cushion place?
To me, it used to be Reading Fairgrounds. That curved up pretty hard and high. And God, I don't know. There for a while, New Egypt, the way Grosso was doing the track, it curved up pretty hard too with that black clay they had there. Right? I'd say they were probably two of the heavy cushion tracks in the East Coast here.
Kevin, I'll let you wrap it up. You get the final question for Billy Pouch.
Well, can I show him something now? Really?
Of
here
course,
on my arm?
of course.
Look at that. I don't know if does it come out right. Can you see this, Billy?
Oh, look at this
that, right?
It's a tattoo. What is this?
Do you know what that
You got
is?
a tattoo.
What is
I
it?
can't quite see it that good.
It's
the L car.
The L car. That was Billy's, L car in '82 and '83. I picked something. We went and got a tattoo. I had to pick something, and it was the first race I ever saw in my life was 1982 at Flemington. Billy won in the L car, so I'm like, hey, it's my wife's name, Lori, and my mom's name, Lorraine. So hey, it just fits, right? So how about that? Has anyone ever gotten an L car tattoo, Billy?
Not that I know of. I know that there's been a few tattoos out there and stuff. I ain't never seen the L car now.
That's right. It was a cool meaning of the first race I ever saw. So there it is. It's on my arm forever now.
Billy, I think
Cool. I never knew that.
I'll
You
do
never
my
told
We
me
best.
just
that
got it
before.
actually a month ago. We just got it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I was wondering where. Is it permanent ink or is it wash off?
That's permanent. No, it doesn't come off. It's permanent on there
Okay.
now. So.
Okay.
I don't really have anything else to say.
How about
I don't
that? Has that ever been an unveiling on the pre-race show like that?
We have never done a tattoo unveiling. I will do my best to get Billy a restraining order now that you have a tattoo official. I'm a little worried about it. I don't have a tattoo of my wife anywhere on my body, and you've got a Billy Pouch tattoo on your arm. So
There you
Billy,
go. There you go.
Billy, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. I like to surprise Kevin with these guests, and I know nobody would make him happier than seeing you. So thank you, thank you so much for doing this, and we'll catch up with you somewhere down the road. Okay, thanks, sir.
All right. Good talking to you guys.
Thanks,
Have a
Billy.
good day.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Kovac, the tattoo. Holy cow!
Look at
had
that. See, I was holding that out on you, Rigsby. See?
Woo! What a perfect segue to industry headlines, Kane. Let's take a look at industry headlines. Our industry headlines today will make these quick after a little longer tattoo reveal. We got a new owner up at I-94 Speedway in Minnesota, James Trantinet. Kovac, not only is James a new owner of this place, great facility. That area of the country, some spectacular facilities. Cool to see his motorsports portfolio growing a little bit up there in that area.
Yeah, James is really becoming a mover and shaker in this. 40 years old, up in Minnesota. He already owns Granite City Motor Park up there. He also owns Dan Ebert's late model team. He's going to even drive this year. He plans to drive running some late model races. So you talk about a guy who's really involved, and he's going to be working at I-94. Don Shaw will stay on as the co-promoter and track prep guy, so he'll have some experience with them as he goes forward at I-94.
The Outlaws and the Super Dirt Car Series, speaking of Billy Pouch and Big Blocks, will run together May 13th at Georgetown, Kovac. That's their first time they've run together. If you don't count the World Finals or Volusia, first time they'll run together. You sliding down to Georgetown that night? I could see that happening.
That looks like a good opportunity there to see both of them together. I mean, I like that. That's a good deal.
And High Limits co-owner Brad Sweet honoring, of course, his great late friend Brian Clausen with the Brian Clausen Hero Classic Friday at Kokomo. Friday and Saturday, they've got a double header for High Limit at Kokomo this weekend. Kokomo, a great track, and Brian, a guy that's just gone way too soon. It's hard to believe how many years have passed already, but he loved Kokomo, and it's very fitting that they're going to have that tribute to him there this weekend, Kevin.
Yeah, I've seen Kyle's post about the race and just talking about like how he's so honored to be able to have a memorial event for one of his good friends that that passed away, and such a good racer too.
As a look at industry headlines, we're going to step away for another quick commercial break. Todd Turner on the other side. He had poetry references yesterday. Who knows what we'll get tonight? You're watching FloRacing Night in America. Back after this.
Going to try to roll in the middle. Here comes Sheppy on the outside.
Sheppy's up top. Herb is down low. He had a 3-second lead. They're going to race back to the white flag. They got lap cars in front of them. Turbo's right there in front of them. Shirley's right there in front of them. There's one lap to decide it, Dustin.
Final time around. Dennis Herb goes slow. Brandon Shepard going to go to the high side. Can he get the run down the back straightaway? They're wheel to wheel for the lead.
He catches the wall.
Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Shepard with a Hail Mary, but it's not going to work. Dennis Herb Jr. wins your Illinois Speed Week race at Lincoln.
That was a really good race, actually. Brandon Shepard has a huge following at Lincoln Speedway. You could see the crowd reacting. They about went nuts. But Dennis Herb Jr., that familiar middle to low line, that was back in 2022. Great race at Lincoln. Welcome back to FloRacing Night in America. I'm Michael Rigsby, coming to you from our Bloomington, Illinois studios, alongside my co-host, Kevin Kovac. Kevin, do you recall kind of the rise of Sheppy? Like the Cedar Lake's kind of that first breakout moment he had in the family car back in the day. But do you remember like the Sheppy ascension, kind of the earliest stages of it?
Oh yeah. I was in late model racing already enough.
Yeah.
I mean, doing with the World of Outlaws back starting in 2006. So I saw him as that little Sheppy, you know, coming out there, and I kind of remember him the way Mark Richards always describes him, like walking around. You know, he had that like dirty, you know, kind of oily uniform on, you know, wasn't no bells and whistles on it, no much on there. And he'd walk up to him. And I do remember him being like that, like, here's look at this kid. He's a little rough around the edges kid. And it kind of makes me laugh when I see him with this really bright orange uniform now that he's been wearing lately. It's much different than the older young Sheppy.
Yeah, little Sheppy. His first interview he ever did on camera was with me at Lincoln, actually, about 14 to 15 years ago now. It's hard to believe he's become one of the country's best dirt late model drivers. We are moments away from Todd Turner joining us on the show, but first, Todd sends us his creative outlook on the night. Kevin, let's take a peek at that now. We had poetry last night. Something tells me we're not getting poetry tonight. Speaking of Brandon Shepard, he has posted runner-up finishes in 3 of the 4 FloRacing events at Lincoln. A flat tire leading a heat in 25 helps snap his streak. He's good there, but he hasn't won there. Fast Fager, just like last night at Spoon River, Jason Fager has at least 1 super late model victory at Lincoln each of the last 4 seasons. Lincoln promoter Adam Mackey in January, and I say a Bob Sargent event. Adam is the promoter at Lincoln now. Bob's always around, but Adam's the promoter. Was honored in January and collected the Bob Memmer Award at Dirt Cars postseason banquet. Great honor for Adam. I've known him a long time. Also the voice of the Snowball Derby for us. Excuse me, not Snowball Derby. World Series of Asphalt and Snowball Derby. He's everywhere. Adam's everywhere. And on the clock, Darren Klein is the track record holder at 12.7866. And besides Miles Moose, Lincoln has produced other noteworthy folks, including, well, I said no poetry, but here we go. We've got a theologian. Reinhold I'm going to say it wrong. We're going to let Todd pronounce it. He's the author of the Serenity Prayer. Oh, we got poetry. I was wrong. We've got it back. Poet Langston Hughes and astronaut Scott Altman. How about that, Kevin? Let's bring Todd Turner in now. Todd, I'll be honest, I get surprised by your graphics. I like to read them as they come up. I should have known that we had poetry in there. You went poetry 2 nights in a row, Todd.
Well, I don't want to disappoint. We need a little culture in this sport.
I do. I love to be like, I like to read them, so I've kind of got like a reaction to them. I'm like, well, he's not going to go poetry again, and he did it again. And astronauts. What was Kane, put the graphic back up there again. How do you pronounce this name, Todd? It's Reinhold, not Judge Reinhold. Reinhold, what is it?
Niebuhr. He's a German theologian. You know the Serenity Prayer, right? Part of the 12 steps, and God grant me the wisdom to, you know that? Yes, no.
Yeah, so this is Judge. You're talking about Judge Reinhold from The Breakfast Club. Is who we're talking about here. Judge Reinhold.
Exactly, Judge Reinhold from Stripes. Yes.
Judd Reinhold. My apologies. Is it Judd or Judge? I'm always a little. It's Judd. Judge.
Judge, isn't it Judd
Reinhold? I know.
Club, right?
Well, yeah, we'll figure that out later. Todd, what'd you make a Spoon River last night? We'll start there.
It's a shame Brandon was so much better than everybody else. I think that's a big thing because it looked like a pretty good race and some guys were coming up through there. But it's hard to beat a guy who's going to start up front and do so well, have such a good car as he did. But it's a good racing overall. The heat races were maybe more exciting than usual, but it was a pretty good night. We'll hope for something, maybe a few lead changes tonight at Lincoln.
I will say it is officially Judge Reinhold, and I was confusing him for the guy in The Breakfast Club. He's not in The Breakfast Club, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Fast times at Ridgemont High.
Thank you. So just to be clear, not in Breakfast Club. Love Judge Reinhold, not in Breakfast Club. So what is the long-haired guy's name in Breakfast Club? I'm blanking.
Judd Nelson, isn't it?
Judd Nelson.
Like
Judd Nelson.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
I'm ashamed of myself. Todd, we've got Lincoln tonight. Earliest memories of Lincoln, you going there, and it's one of those places. Kevin and I said it's like every other Illinois bull ring, but a little bit different. It's kind of like Farmer City, but different. Kind of like Fairbury, but different. What are your earliest memories of the place, and do you kind of agree it's like those places, but not the same?
Yeah, it's funny. I stumbled on it. I remember this is about 20-something years ago. I was at National Dirt Digest compiling results, and I'm like, wait, what is this Lincoln Speedway? And sometimes you have those tracks that have been around like 700 years, but you somehow have missed the results. And at first I thought that's what it was, but no, it actually is only 21 years that it's been competing. So it's been a while. It took me a while before I went there, but I went to World of Outlaws races there. The most famous race I remember, and you may have talked about this, Michael, is the Summer Nationals race that rained out, that shouldn't have rained out, that did. It was the 19th of 19 consecutive nights. But it is very small. It is it is one of those tracks in the infield to watch. It is kind of hard to keep up with, very frenetic. But I love any track with a flagger in the infield. That's always a good sign, right?
Hey Todd, if I'm not mistaken, Lincoln still has a Dairy Queen across the street, right from the fairgrounds, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I want to ask you, I think when you can when you can just jump on a four-wheeler or even walk across the street to a Dairy Queen when you're at a racetrack, doesn't that add a little bit to the atmosphere and to the enjoyment of a night? What do you think, Todd?
Well, Kevin, I know you love your ice cream. I mean, if there's not some sprinkles somewhere, then that's not good. Yeah, that's right. There is also, I can't remember what it is down the street. It was part of a gas station thing, but I've eaten there with Dennis Erb and Heather Line at least 3 times. Yeah, Steak and Shake. It seems like every time I'm there, and Dennis he's yet to buy me my dinner, but, I'm still hoping.
Todd, so you talk about weekly racing, Illinois. It's so strong here, and we hear all the time about weekly racing's in trouble in the United States. Do we? And I hear that a lot. And I'm not saying that weekly racing is not as strong as it was 25 years ago. We know it's not. Do we just think is that just a natural evolution that inevitably there'd be less weekly racing? What do you think about that? And if you had a weekly track, what would you do? What would you do to save it? How would you save it? I'm interested in your perspective on this.
I mean, I guess that's $1 million question. I think we need to look at it from a new perspective. It's not gonna be the same as what it was. And I think part of it is we have all these other special events that, in essence, as a weekly track, you're competing against a little bit. And just to have kind of a regular night of racing probably doesn't look that appealing. And it's hard to promote that. So I think it's some balance of having special events and racing, maybe not every single week, but enough to know that people know when you're racing, when to come. Some of these tracks that are super established, like Port Royal and Fairbury and Hagerstown, and them, they don't have to worry about it. People have been coming there forever, but these tracks that are trying to carve their way into a weekly program is a challenge, especially in an area where you're not drawing from a lot of people. I think overall it is a balance of like trying to figure out how much you can have just folks around your around your little city coming in, or do you need travelers? And I don't know. It reminds me a little bit of the restaurant business. We everybody loves to go to restaurants, but here in Louisville, it's like, hey, if you like that one, you better get to it because it might not last that long. It's a business that is hard to keep going. But when you know a good one, it lasts a long time. And it's a little bit the same way with racetracks.
Hey, Todd, what's your thoughts on Brandon Shepard, season so far? That's a 6th win last night. Do you have that feeling that he's back to that B Shep with Rocket One in their heyday now, where they're really, his ceiling might be, like he could go over 20 wins again?
Short answer, no. I'm not saying he won't. I feel like he's been on the precipice of that a little bit. And definitely when you look back to last season, he had some long dry spells last season, even after they kind of started winning. So I'm a little still skeptical that he can be the guy that rolls into the pits and everybody's, worried about him beating them. But he certainly, Kyle's piece today, if you read that there on Dirt or Flow, about how he's won at 6 different tracks, and he's really, for his career, this is shaping up to be a good season. I think the jury's still out a little bit. I wish he was closer in points. I would like to see him in the Lucas Oil points chase. He's a little bit back. So we'll see where it goes. But, that team is not going to lie down, obviously. They've got the resources, the people, the institutional memory of winning every race they want to really, come through. So I would not be surprised if we're sitting here October talking about a 21 season, but I still feel like it's just a little bit too soon to go ahead and say that's a guarantee.
Todd, if you don't show up at our dream pre-race show with a tattoo of something, I'm going to be a little disappointed. I just want you to know that. I want you to reveal something. And by the way, I want to show you this too. I got a bunch of people asking me about the Mid-American reveal. I got another one out today. Look at this one. Steve Francis. Yeah. Look at Francis.
Look at Stevie.
Right? In the Arizona sports shirt. This is the October 9th, 1996. Francis fresh off a Stars victory at Portsmouth on the cover of Mid-American there. Todd, I thought you'd appreciate that as well.
Classic.
Todd, we won't see you again until the pre-race show for the Dream. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you, guys.
Final commercial break on tap for the pre-race show. Kevin and I will be back to wrap things up. A few words from our sponsors now as you're watching FloRacing Night in America. The countdown to Lincoln is on.
The new Dirt Draft app. Faster, sharper, built to win. New lock windows and predictive contests. More ways to play. More ways to win. Lock in your drivers. Watch the action and become a fantasy champion. Every lap, every restart, every last lap slide job that moves you up the leaderboard. The green flag just dropped on the all-new Dirt Draft. Download it now at dirtdraft.com. Draft your team and get...
I have terrible vision. I got hooked up with Death Ridge, and being able to see when you're racing is pretty important. Glare is somewhat of a big deal, and with these, there's really no glare at all. They just fit really well. They don't go over your ear. They just go straight around your head. Full believer in them. I feel like they help a lot compared to what I'm used to. I have nothing but good to say about them.
Since 1978, Sweet Manufacturing has been the leader in high-performance power steering. Employee-owned and built in the USA, we proudly deliver the best in-class steering equipment. With constant innovation and development, we push performance to the next level because champions demand the best. When precision matters and performance counts, trust the experts. Sweet Manufacturing. Let us turn your wheels.
Established in 1983, FK Rod-Ends has been the industry leader for both midget and micro racing. Family owned and operated, we take pride in our products and our name because we know you value yours. Visit our website, www.fkrodends.com, to find out how you can join our winning team. FK Rod-Ends. To beat the best, you've got to use the best.
Rocket Chassis, the winningest name in dirt late model racing. From the red clay of the south to the slick tracks up north. When victory is on the line, champions choose Rocket Chassis. Born in 1991 by racers for racers. Rocket has built nearly 6,500 chassis and stacked more wins than anybody in the sport. And don't forget the newest cutting-edge XR2. Razor sharp handle, unmatched speed, and the legendary Rocket Edge. Whether you're chasing Lucas, World of Outlaws glory, or dominating your local bull ring, Rocket delivers the tools to dominate. Rocket Chassis, built to win, driven to victory.
If it can hang on one more lap. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. He'll work through turn 2 and down the backstretch. I think he can shut it off and coast from here. For the 3rd straight Summer Nationals race, Brandon Shepard goes to victory lane.
One of the reasons I chose that clip was not only because it was Brandon Shepard winning at Lincoln, but it was also the voice of Rick Eshelman, and we miss him dearly. Just good to hear Rick's voice on the airways again. That was the Summer Nationals race on July 2nd, 2017. Michael Rigsby and Kevin Kovac back in our Bloomington, Illinois studios, wrapping things up as hot laps at Lincoln are just around the corner. Kovac, tons of racing coming up on the Flow platform. Like I said yesterday, it's about that time of year where every single night you can almost watch something. So let's take a look at some of the other options that you've got. Don't forget USAC. USAC, really the first property that kicked things off at Flow back in 2018 and 19. USAC National Sprint Car Series, the USAC Midget Series, and so many things in between. Kirk Spridgen and those guys do a great job at USAC. I say it all the time, USAC Racing, 410 non-wing, best pure form of motorsports on the planet. Their next race at Eldora, May 14th and 15th. The Interstate Batteries High Limit Tour will be at Kokomo this weekend for that Brian Clausen Classic. Very excited about seeing the boys of High Limit this weekend. And the Cars Tour, the best pavement racing on the planet. Yeah, I said it. It's Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s Cars Tour, the ZMAX Cars Tour. This weekend, their next race coming up at Ace Speedway in North Carolina. Kovac, let's wrap things up with your final thoughts from Lincoln. I'm sure you've got some notes.
Well, I got one note here. I'm going to expand on the Nick Hoffman, what we talked about yesterday, when I noticed that it was 11 out of his last 12 races had been top fives. He just missed the top five last night, but Kyle McFadden pointed out on our website, on Dirt on Dirt, when we go on the back end, we can look at all the drivers' finishes and race wires. And we looked, and Kyle looked at that, and he said dating back to last September, he noted last night was the 36th straight top 10 finish in features that Nick has started. So he's go all the way back to last September.
Wow.
Every time he started a feature, he's been in the top 10. He just, again, he didn't start the Talladega race. He scratched there earlier this year, hunt the front in March. But man, 36 straight top 10s.
Incredible.
That is some consistency that's championship worthy, and why he's up there.
That is that's you don't need any more notes. That's the note, right?
Yeah. Thank you, Kyle McFadden, for pointing that out. Yeah.
Thank you, Kyle McFadden. Before we get to the hot lap starting tonight, don't forget our friends at Dirt Draft back again this year, and they got some new toys and prizes, new and reactive. Kane, I like how you got this graphic. I'm going to kind of go up like this over this graphic, or slide in this. Let's do this. New and reactivated subscribers receive a $10 Longhorn Gear gift card. Download the new app today. Kevin, are you a Dirt Draft guy? It doesn't seem like you can't be tinkering with Dirt Draft.
I haven't, no.
But anyway,
I don't even do fantasy football now, though. I don't want to have to worry about all the things happening, So
I think
and get mad when my guy doesn't do well or something.
I think that's good for you. DirtDraft.com or download the new Dirt Draft app today. And also, of course, a new sponsor on board, and I'll show it again here. Let's go full screen, Kane, because yesterday I kind of got too cut off a little bit. Horsepower Hydration, Kevin. There it is. Horsepower Hydration. This is Amber and I's brand new company. We've signed on as one of the sponsors of FloRacing Night in America. Let's go ahead and put that graphic up. Use the code HORSEPOWER10 right now for 10% off your horsepower hydration order. We've got two flavors. We've got mixed berry and we've got lemon lime. And I'm a firm believer in this product. There's hot nights at the racetrack, long nights at the Chili Bowl. Amber and I are huge on hydration, so we thought, let's start a product that helps race fans stay hydrated, and we did it with Horsepower Hydration. So please go there now, horsepowerhydration.com. Use the code HORSEPOWER10 for 10% off your order. I'm kind of a mixed berry guy, but I know lemon lime is incredibly popular as well. So one of these two flavors, horsepowerhydration.com, and use the code HORSEPOWER10 to get 10% off your order. Kovac, make a quick prediction. Who wins tonight?
Tonight it's going to be Bobby Pierce. I think he gets the win at Lincoln. He was just a little bit off last night. I think he gets on the board for the first time this week.
I got, how about in a surprise, I think Tyler Erb throws an elbow late and gets the victory. So I think we're going to have some theatrics at Lincoln tonight. Ben Shelton, Dustin Jarrett, and Mike Norris will be on the call. Our next pre-race show will be live from the Dream at Eldora the Wednesday night before. We're very excited for that. So we'll send it a commercial break now, and our guys on the other side will come back. We will see you later tonight from Lincoln Speedway. Thanks, Kevin.
See ya.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lincoln Speedway for night number 2 of Illinois Speed Week. We're glad that you're here with us. Dustin Jarrett in the booth alongside my good friend Ben Shelton, and we are patiently waiting on Mother Nature to do her thing, hopefully get done with her thing so that we can go racing here tonight at the Logan County Fairgrounds. Ben, welcome back to Lincoln, buddy.
Yeah, it's good to be back to Lincoln. It's bad to see Mother Nature back here. Mother Nature, we'll get her to go home, and we'll have a heck of a show tonight. We got the big tractor out on the Speedway. Going to stir it around a little bit. Had some rain showers come through right about the time of drivers' meeting. Had some earlier this afternoon. Looking at the radar, DJ, scattered showers out there, so we're going to try to endure those. 37 FloRacing Night in America Super Late models in the pit area here today. 27 dirt car modifieds, complete show for both. And really, we don't need a big window. We can hammer this show out fast, especially here at Lincoln Speedway, man. Things can go really fast. And coming off a great show last night, of course, at Spoon River. We want to get tonight in, and tomorrow, Lucas Oil takes over. We head up the road to Farmer City and Fairbury. But tonight, back to Lincoln, a place that, man, we've seen some fireworks over the years.
Absolutely. We saw highlights actually earlier. One of the bumps back in from Michael Rigsby's studio show was that outstanding race back in 2022, I believe it was, where Brandon Shepard threw the Hail Mary on Dennis Erb Jr. on the last lap. Looked like he might sneak by him on the outside. He caught that turn 2 wall, and that was all she wrote, and Dennis Erb Jr. ended up getting the win.
Well, when you come here to Lincoln, you never know what you're going to get. We've been here on days where it's 180 degrees in the press box. I thought you were having a heat stroke one year. We come here today, and man, it's been windy. It's felt like Kansas here the past few days as the wind's been blowing nonstop. Now, obviously, we're a little bit delayed. We're scheduled to have dirt draft hot laps, well, about a minute ago going green, so letting the racetrack dry a little bit. We got the tractor out there. We'll have dirt draft hot laps for the super late model division, then modified hot laps. And I think the modifieds will actually hot lap qualified. Then we'll go into Sunoco Racefield super late model qualifying, opening ceremonies. DJ, 4 super late model heats tonight, mod heats, and how about super late models? We got a brand new marketing partners come on tonight for the B Mains.
Absolutely. Our good friends at Stacked Products going to sponsor the B Mains, not just tonight, but all season long for FloRacing Night in America. Absolutely. So big shout out to Shane McLaughlin back there in my neck of the woods, Zanesville, Ohio. Stacked Products. Glad to welcome them on board. Of course, 2 features here this evening, as you mentioned, Ben. 50 laps the distance for the super late models, and of course the modifieds, $2,000 to win, and they will be rolling 20 laps with their fingers crossed here this evening.
Man, I tell you what, you come here to the Grouse Chevrolet Showdown, as we talked about it, there have been some barn burners over the year, and a year ago, Devin Moran got his first win here, and I'll never forget down at Victory Lane, he said, I finally wanted an Illinois racetrack on one of the bull rings. He's obviously won the PDC, but he said, I wanted one of the real tiny racetracks. Go buy some T-shirts, man. And tell you what, Devin's here tonight. He's had a really good year so far, defending Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion. And you look at other winners, Bobby Pierce won here in 24, Hudson O'Neill won here in 23, and in 2022, Dennis Erb Jr., and all 4 of those in action here tonight. As a little bit of sprinkles coming down, let's take a look at the track facts for the night, the horsepower hydration track facts.
Yes, absolutely. I just poured my my mixed berry horsepower hydration. As you can see, a little bit of rain there in the background as well. 2004 is when this quarter-mile semi-bank clay oval officially opened. She's a tight racetrack here at the Logan County Fairgrounds. Semi-banked, I would say maybe even slightly progressive banking. And man, this is one of those racetracks when you get that stereotypical Illinois black dirt cushion build up around the outside. This place can be really fun, especially guys coming off turn 4, bouncing off that last concrete Jersey barrier and hanging that right rear off over the top side of the racetrack.
We have seen, again, some great races. 4 different winners in 4 races here, and also Lincoln Speedway track record. Something to keep in mind later tonight, Dennis Erb Jr., a 12.219 all the way back in 2009.
That's right.
So we'll see tonight if that maybe falls a little bit later, and you see the weather, a little bit of rain. We don't like it when that shows up. We'll deal with broken clouds. We'll deal with separated clouds, scattered clouds, a little bit of that. Temperature's been all over the place today too, DJ. Yeah. We've had winds out of the west, and when they go out of the north, you feel the temperature change. And then when the moisture starts to come down, it's just there's little disturbances moving all across Illinois this week, and man, it just changes the weather in the blink of an eye.
It was 70 degrees. You and I checked. We were driving in here earlier. And at one point, winds up over 20 miles an hour. And the flags here on the grounds were actually at attention. Old Glory in the infield and the flagman type flag sitting over there just off turn number 3. Right now, very little wind. That temperature has dropped a little bit as we try to wait out this rain here this evening again at the Logan County Fairgrounds in Lincoln, Illinois, the home of the world's largest covered wagon.
Well, I'll tell you one thing I know, Bob Sargent, track prep guru, and he's letting the track dry a little bit against some sprinkles, falling tractor sit back there. They brought in that tractor today for this reason. If they needed it, it'll help us get the track back quicker. We're going to step aside, thanks to marketing partners. When we come back, FloRacing Night in America, round 2 of 2026. We're here from Lincoln Speedway. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Lincoln Speedway here on FloRacing. You see Tractorzilla rolling off into turn number 4. They brought out the big guns here at Lincoln Speedway, Dustin, Jared, and we're working on getting the racetrack getting cleaned up and ready to go for Dirt Draft Hot Laps. 37 FloRacing Night in America Super Late Models, 27 mods. And you know what? Okay, is this a big racetrack? No, it's not. But that is a Big Daddy tractor right there.
Yeah, that's how we spent too much time together on the road. I swear on my life I was going to call it Tractorzilla, too.
You think when Joe Diffie wrote John Deere Green, it was about that bad
boy?
It
had to have been. Absolutely. Hey, here's the one thing to keep in mind, too. There is a curfew here within Lincoln. Now, the town does play nice with the track and vice versa. We hear that a lot of times. But that is something just kind of keep in your back pocket. As well, because we're
going to cover the fine.
That's right. Absolutely, we'll cover the fine.
Can I have your credit card number?
No. Well, you're not going to get very far with it. There's a lot of people, and I would be in that boat as well, as though I've been there till 3 in the morning crowd, and I get that. But if we do want to keep racing open here at Lincoln Speedway for weeks and years to come as well, we do have to play nice with the city of Lincoln also. So.
That's fair.
It is fair.
We can run this show fast, though, and I think we've got about 10:30 tonight to play with. So we'll see. We're doing everything we can. Again, you see the pack trucks, and already with the tractor, these pack trucks couldn't get on the bottom of the racetrack. You see them starting to move around, and here's the reality: we don't need 10 more showers to come through tonight. So getting the racetrack ready, and really it was one of these deals today where Bob Sargent, Adam Mackey, and the staff, they were in this situation where the wind's blowing, the sun's out, it's 70+ degrees. They had to put water on it, and you may or may not get rain. We got some, and that's why if you look at the horse track down the front straightaway, when you see the wind picking back up, the wind is actually our friend. Now this is the third different direction I've seen today. I've seen the west, the north, and I think it's out of the south now. Old Glory's getting a workout. The horse track you can see is pretty dry around here. This area is really dry. They had just been getting the racetrack ready for racing action, as you have to. And Mother Nature came in. So anyway, DJ, we're playing that game right now. Last night, the game we played was the season opener game.
Absolutely. At Spoon River, well, we got rained out at LaSalle as they got an 1.5 inches of rain in about 12 hours on Tuesday evening. We were very fortunate, though. We got last night's show in at Spoon River Speedway. Had a really solid field of 42 39 late models. Thank you. That was a long time ago. I can't remember back that far, even though I took my meds this morning. So if you were there last night, or if you weren't there last night, for those of you here on the grounds, we'll toss to the Flotron in the middle of the infield. For those of you watching at home live on FloRacing, let's take a look at last night's highlights from Spoon River. Shepard on the pole, Overton on the outside. FloRacing Night in America is underway.
Season 6, Feature 1, 20,000 to win here tonight. Shepard to the lead, Overton back to second, Moran's right there. Here comes Huddy digging down low. Pierce as well through turns 3 and 4, 2-3 wide right now. Lap number 1, Brandon Shepard, your leader.
Sheppy picked up the win in heat race. Integra Shocks and Springs heat race number 1 earlier is trying to lead this one and get a win here tonight at Spoon River. Hud in second. Here comes Brandon Overton on the outside. Devin Moran rolls the middle. Bobby Pierce on the bottom. Still Sheppy out front at the end of lap 2. 0.8 of a second the advantage for Brandon Shepard, and he stretches that out by a couple more. As now Pierce going to look at the high side of Hudson O'Neill. That's the battle for the second spot.
That's a good stuff right now. Shepard a comfortable lead. You talk about a 1.2 second advantage off of turn number 4. 7 down, 43 to go, and that time at the line, Bobby Pierce will take the second spot by 100th of a second over Hudson O'Neill. And I tell you what, just when we thought that bottom spot was the place to be, Pierce starts rolling on the top side, and we've seen Shepard married to the middle throughout.
We got trouble down in turns 1 and 2 as Dan Ebert and Ricky Thornton Jr. are pointed in the wrong direction, and that'll draw the Midwest Sheet Metal caution with 7 laps in the books from the drone.
Right side of your screen.
The 20 RT went to go to the inside. The 60 was there. Play it again. 43 to go. 7 in the books here at Spoon, and we're back underway.
Shepard's going to roll the middle of the racetrack. Pierce stays down low. Hudson way up top, and Hudson gets a big run. He'll take second away from Pierce down the back straightaway. They'll battle for that spot off into 3 and 4. Hudson through the middle. Sheppy up top. Pierce down low. It's Brandon Shepard over Hudson O'Neill and Bobby Pierce.
That's how they ran the last time by as Devin Moran trying to roll the middle of the racetrack. He momentarily clears the 76 of Brandon Overton. Here comes Shannon Babb. Babb trying to make up some ground on the inside of the racetrack. Behind them, travel buddies Kyle Bronson and Brian Shirley as Spoon River looking good here tonight, 9 in the books.
Turbo slides up the racetrack. Those two played paintball last night. They're trading paint right now as they battle for position number 4 out in front. How about this? This is about as how on the racetrack as we've seen Sheppy as he moves back up the track. Spoon River's an interesting joint. Just every time you think you know what it's doing, it does something a little bit different.
Yeah, Dev really doing a good job making that outside groove work as well. As you mentioned, Sheppy starting to sneak up there a little bit as well. Now Shepard goes back to the middle. The 71, the 32, the best performance one all down to the bottom. Then the 99, the 76, they're right back up on the high side of the Speedway. Bend this time by crossed flag shown to the field. 25 in the books, 25 remain.
The lead that was once 1.9 seconds, now less than 0.8. This time off of 4, 12 laps to go. Here comes Hudson O'Neal.
Man, you nailed it. Rocket One is having a tough time keeping that car glued to the bottom of the racetrack on corner exit, and that's where the 71 is making up his ground. The lead now down to 0.6. 12 laps to go. Make it 11 laps this time. Here comes Hudson O'Neal, and you've got a battle for the lead at Spoon River.
A little over 0.3 of a second. The advantage for Shepard. He drifts high. Here comes Huddy down the back straightaway. They'll race back to 10 to go. The lap car right in front of him of Garrett Alberson. 10 laps to go. Can Shepard hang on?
I noticed Shepard did a good job that last time by trying to keep that one car glued down to the inside
that's his
of the
best run
racetrack.
right there.
Absolutely. He did it that last time by off corner number 4. This time by 9 laps to go. Brandon Shepard a little easier on the throttle coming off the corner. And the lead that was down to 0.3 now back up to 0.7. Here comes Garrett Alberson off the outside. He's a lap down. This time by 6 laps to go.
And Hudson takes 0.2 of a second off of the lead. And Hudson's going to go to the top. Does he know something's up there that Brandon doesn't know? They're going to race back to 5 to go. Hudson had just taken 0.2 off of Shepard's lead. That's the difference last time, 0.6. With 5 laps to go, the separation between those two. 1 second, he gave up 0.4, DJ.
Don't look now, but Bobby Pierce is right there as well. Top 3 cars, all within the same half straightaway of each other. Less than 5 laps to go in this one, and they might still have the back of the field to contend with as well. 4 laps to go. It was a 1 second lead for Brandon Shepard. It stays at 1 second.
Off into turns 3 and 4. All-Guy performance, 1 to go, white flag in the air. Shepard's pushing the issue. One time, DJ, bring us home.
Does the 71 have anything for him? 0.9 of a second was the advantage for Brandon Shepard. He'll head down the back straightaway for the final time. Hudson O'Neal is not close enough. Off corner number 4, the winner of FloRacing Night in America season opener will be Brandon Shepard.
Hudson O'Neal comes home in second. Bobby Pierce third. So that was last night's highlight, Spoon River Speedway. Brandon Shepard, his 3rd career win with FloRacing Night in America. 2 of those have come at Spoon River, and the last time he won there, he was the champion back in 2022. As Dustin Jarrett's up here with me, Michael Rigsby's made his way up. Michael,
what? He was just at the studio.
I know he does it all. Michael, you pulled in. You made a comment. There's a lot of cars waiting to get into this place.
Yeah, I've been coming to Lincoln Speedway for a very long time, and when I came up that road tonight, you know, it's raining outside. It's a little gray. It's not the sexiest looking night out, and I was stunned at the line of cars, given that weather forecast. I've promoted many races. I know how race fans can be, that we're still in line to get out here. I think we have a really good crowd tonight, and the racetrack looks, if you like black dirt Illinois bull rings, look at that thing just throwing mud. I love it right now.
How about Tractor Zilla that you commented on out there on the backstretch, by the way?
I asked Adam, promoter Adam, when I got in here, I said, look at that thing. Adam, how wide is that thing? It's got to be... It gets wider. How could it get any wider than that thing? It's one of the most impressive pieces of machinery I have ever seen at a dirt track, I will tell you that.
Let's also talk, Michael. We've been very excited, and people have given us grief about it. The Flowtron. How about adding the video board at the racetrack? We just saw the highlights from last night. The pre-race show's on there. And I know everybody thinks about streaming. All we care about is people at home. We want the at-track experience, and this is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, it's nice. I walked up, and I heard you guys talking, and I was like, there's no cars on the track. Why are those two yelling up there? Oh, it was last night's highlights. Is what it was.
Okay.
It was great to see, though, and everybody watching the pre-race show last night at Spoon River and how locked in every race fan was to the highlights here on the Jumbotron was awesome. It was really cool to see, and it's just another tool in the arsenal that we've got that we'll be able to give race fans all year long, and we'll take this. Our own Mark Floriani wants us to take it to the PRI trade show. I don't know if we'll be able to get it into the convention center or not, but we'll be using this tool a lot this year.
Hey, when you invest in something like that, you're going to use it.
Very happy for you guys that are going to PRI for that.
that.
Yeah, and you'll be joining us there, I believe. So TBD.
Boy, this is a very refreshing drink of horsepower hydration that I just took, by the way.
Michael, we're going to give you a shameless plug. You got a new company going, man.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. My wife Amber and I launched how many times we've been at a dirt track and it's just awful hot outside, or it's a chili bowl and it's late night, or it's Eldora and people have had too much to drink. You got to stay hydrated, and I didn't take it seriously long enough. And we came up with a very specific formula for dirt track fans, for short track fans, pavement fans, dirt track, asphalt, midget, late model, sprint car. It's called Horsepower Hydration. It's a powder. You pour it into your drink. I believe strongly in the product. It's really, really good. If you go to the website right now, horsepowerhydration.com, and use the code horsepower10, you get 10% off. I love that background, by the way, with the rain clouds and the horsepover hydration.
It's moving away from us. It's moving away. They're moving away.
It's beautiful. But it is something I actually really believe strongly in. And the first spot I spent my advertising money was with FloRacing. I turned around and wrote Mark Floriani a check to be able to advertise. We're really excited about it.
It's very nice of you to invest back in the sport.
I'm making sure you have a job, okay?
I will tell you what I just told Ben Shelton a few minutes ago. This is no lie, unpaid promotion right here.
Okay.
I said, I love the flavor of this. It's not an overbearing flavor like some of the other hydration.
No sugar, no caffeine. It's a clear product. You pour it in. It doesn't look like Kool-Aid from when you were a kid.
That's right.
It really is like, and Amber's killing it, and I love being able to work with my wife and build something again. It's been really awesome.
All right, enough shameless plugs on that. Hey, but sponsor, and we also gave you not only the track facts, we threw it on there. This is the official sponsor of the announcers booth. So Horsepower Hydration announcers booth.
I mean, I've never been more honored in my life to be the
associate. Huckady's trying to get to work. So
we will bill you. So
is there any? We didn't have drones like 12 years ago. How amazing these drone shots are now. And there's somebody in Georgia right now or North Carolina that cannot believe that's the color of the dirt that we are racing on tonight. That's what our dirt track's supposed to look like right there.
AI, Photoshop.
Guys, I'd like to touch on, I think this is our 5th Illinois Speedway, 5th iteration. Yeah. And when we created this deal, we knew it could be cool. I don't think we knew it'd be this big. And let's remember, the first year it was 2 FloRacing Night in America events, and then it was 2 Mars events. Yeah. And now we come to this year, and you got guys like Sam Seawright from Fort Payne, Alabama. Yeah. Mario Gresham from Rome, Georgia, drove 700 miles. I feel like not only fans but racers have watched this, and now they come up here and it's a pilgrimage.
Yeah, Kevin Kovac said on our pre-race show yesterday, this was FloRacing Night in America was a great series. It became an unbelievable series when you started it with Illinois Speed Week. Yeah. We were trying to force it, Ben. Remember racing Tri-City on March 31st?
We rescheduled 411 4 times and never got it.
It just would made more sense to wait until May, and it just made more sense that, listen, this is the sort of the de facto kind of home of dirt late model racing. Joshua Joyner said it just means more in the state of Illinois, so why not start here? This series took off when we really started with Illinois Speed Weeks, and that makes, as an Illinois boy, that makes me pretty happy.
Yeah, and I mean, and I think back even to the beginning of FloRacing Night in America as well, where we kind of had that 2020 year. It took it took a COVID-ish midweek race to realize that maybe this thing will work, and maybe it will work middle of the week. And oh, by the way, starting in Illinois a couple years later that's the place to do it.
It is absolutely the place to do it. And like I said, these drone shots are just absolutely beautiful.
Well, again, the drone shot here as we wait out Mother Nature. We have got the tractor out on the racetrack right now. The sun has started to peek out just a little bit as well.
Check this out. We're on Amazon Prime tonight again, we're unlocked to over 200 million households on FloRacing on Amazon Prime. If you're watching on Amazon Prime, you're watching for free, you freeloader. No, we're not. We're joking. Scan that QR code to get your all-access pass to FloRacing again on Amazon Prime tonight. We're on our 24/7 fast channels and, of course, the FloRacing platform. It's really cool what this is becoming. It's cool to see how this racetrack is coming around. We're going to step aside, thanks to marketing partners. When we come back, we're getting closer to Dirt Draft Hot Laps, 37 super late models. There's blue sky, and we're here in the land of Lincoln. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Lincoln, Illinois. FloRacing Night in America here at the Lincoln County Fairgrounds. Thursday evening portion, and they are rolling this racetrack in, and she is coming along pretty darn good so far. Just hearing from track staff, about 20 minutes away or so from getting race cars on the track here this evening. 37 FloRacing Night in America super late models, 27 of the UMP Dirt Car modified on the ground right now.
I did that.
Yep. Okay.
Never mind.
Ben Shelton's over here muting my microphone. And
made a mistake.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about the fact that we're not going to be on camera tonight, but we have a Big Brother camera behind us that they're just watching us. You're fine, Jeremy, because they're not using it. They're just watching us.
No,
Tiffany said she was trying to talk to you, Jeremy, and you didn't have your headset on. So
no, she saw. She is always watching. She is always watching. Hey, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the FloRacing Night in America point standings heading into this evening's event at Lincoln Speedway. Ben, after one night of racing action at Spoon River.
Well, so what's interesting, Brandon Shepard, the winner, obviously. So tonight, atop the standings, he was the 2022 Series champion. Hudson O'Neal, he's going after his first Series title. Second, Bobby Pierce, two-time defending Series champion. Tyler Erb's never won one of these races. Maybe tonight is the night. He loves these Illinois bull rings. Devin Moran won here a year ago. He's going after the title. Nick Hoffman, DJ Nick had quite the day today.
Yeah.
As the hauler broke down. Ed Petrov coming gets so here's what happened. He breaks down at the pilot. They put it in basically limp mode. They're doing 10 miles an hour down. It's about a mile down the road. He goes, I'm going to run a red light. He said they're good until they get to the gate, and he has to hit the brakes. And when he does, it died. They used the grader to pull the hauler into the pit spot. They disconnected it. Ed Petrov comes and tows the toter away. CW, I think Curlis Motorsports sent their toter down here. Hoffman's going to use it. It's just a deal. But anyway, say all that. It is a total team effort. It's a very exciting roster we have this year. And yeah, the points are based off last night's finish. And the one thing I want to note, because Tanner English decided to head home, get ready for next week, Shannon Babb moved into the show-up money. He gets $500 tonight as he's 8th in the series standings.
We do show-up money for the top 8 in the series point standings. And if you have perfect attendance, you do not have to pay an entry fee either. It's just one of the nice perks that we do for drivers that run the entire FloRacing Night in America schedule.
Man, what a roster we've got. We knew coming into this week that we had 10. Then Carson Hocevar informed us he's running the whole series. He's here tonight, of course, winner at Talladega a few weeks ago. And then let's take a look at the schedule. Brandon Overton tells me last night he's going to run the whole deal, so that's another one. And Dan Ebert told me today that he's on board. So exciting roster this year. We've got about 13, 14 drivers looking to run the whole deal. And after tonight, we take a little bit of a break, and then we head to a place that's near and dear to both of our hearts.
Absolutely. Eldora Speedway for the unofficial kickoff to the Dirt Late Model Dream. That'll be on Wednesday, June 3rd, with the Dirt Late Model Dream to follow. And speaking of unofficial kickoffs, Ben, this has been a staple for a couple of years now. Wednesday, July 22nd, Fairbury Speedway, FloRacing Night in America is the unofficial kickoff to the Prairie Dirt Classic.
Yeah, man, I tell you, I can't wait for that one. Always a big field of cars there. Then in August, that's one you got underlined, circled, and then circled again. August 18th and 19th, Marshalltown Speedway, Marshalltown, Iowa. And then we'll head to Todd Staley's Mason City Motor Speedway for the first time, Mason City, Iowa, August 19th.
Absolutely. Two great tracks there in the Hawkeye State. The LaSalle Speedway date that we were able to slide in is going to be after the World 100, before the Knoxville Late Model Nationals. That'll be on Tuesday, September 15th. And then how about our first ever visit to Putnamville, Lincoln Park Speedway, Putnamville, Indiana, leading into the Jackson 100 on September 23rd.
We'll head over to the Ray Cook and Vic Hill promoted Volunteer Speedway, October 22nd. Bulls Gap, we head over there. And then November 13th and 14th, Sonoy Raceway, the Pollard family-owned oval. 20,000 to win on a Friday night. Saturday night, 30,000 to win, 3,000 to start. All that information at flowseries.com.
You can check out all the latest news, scheduling information, and more, as Ben mentioned, right there at flowseries.com. Well, that's the upcoming schedule of events. By the way, look at that sun peeking through back there just behind us. We need a PS
PSD, please stay dry.
Please stay dry. I was going to say, please stay sunny. Yeah, we'll take that as well. Well, speaking of upcoming racing events, Ben, that was the upcoming schedule for FloRacing Night in America. Let's take a look at some of the other upcoming events, just a small sample size here on FloRacing. In just a couple weeks, you and I will return to the Show Me State, Wheatland, Missouri, at Lucas Oil Speedway for the 34th running of the Show Me 100.
Yeah, an event very special to me. That was the first big race I ever announced back in West Plains, Missouri, back circa 2005. And it's always good to get down there. Big payout. We'll head down there. And then Port Royal Speedway, Bob Weichert Memorial, the High Limit Racing, the Interstate High Limit Racing Sprint Cars, May 22nd through 24th. You think there'll be a few fans and a few sprint cars at that event?
You better get in line now. And speaking of sprint cars, how about the Napa All-Star Circuit of Champions? They're in my home state, a long-time staple for fans of the Wing 410 sprint cars, Ohio Speed Week. By the way, shout out to my good friend Rich Farmer, who in the primaries the other day got the nod for his party for county commissioner to run in November.
Move over Fremont.
That's
75.
exactly right.
You know, and we're going to have a big race coming up there next week with the All-Star Sprints. Also, the Dirt Late Model Dream, we talked about it, Tony Stewart's Palace of Speed, the Eagle Nationals with the Interstate High Limit Racing Series on June 9th. All that on FloRacing. You can go to FloRacing.com, FloSports.com, get the app. Or tonight, you might be watching on Amazon Prime. And again, DJ, we've really grown as a company. We're live. We got a Roku channel. We got a YouTube channel, the Amazon Prime channel. We've had some bonkers numbers. That's right, bonkers. You didn't have that on the bingo card. Insane viewership, and just trying to get more eyeballs on our sport, get it to continue to grow. And man, when you know, having Carson Hocevar out here, very cool. Having Chili's on his race car, bringing Chili's into the sport. We saw it at the Chili's Chili Bowl pre-race show back in January. Just a lot of growth, and rising tides lift all boats, my friend.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, man. That's what I wasn't exactly going to say that, but what I was going to say was we want everyone else to love this sport as much as we do. And so it's great to have folks like that on board. It's great to have folks at home watching on Amazon Prime. And equally, if not more important, it is great to have a phenomenal crowd on site here at the Logan County Fairgrounds at Lincoln Speedway here this evening. Getting word that we are maybe 15 minutes or so away from getting race cars out on the track in the staging lane for hot laps. Don't go anywhere. If you're here on the grounds, don't forget 50/50 tickets on sale. Half of that benefits Illinois Special Olympics, concessions behind the main grandstand, and more. If you're watching at home, we'll be back with FloRacing Night in America at Lincoln Speedway. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to FloRacing Night in America here at Lincoln Speedway in Lincoln, Illinois, as we are just about 5 minutes away from getting race cars on the track for Dirt Draft Hot Laps here this evening. Hey, don't forget, if you are not a loyal and true DirtDraft.com subscriber, I highly recommend it. You get $100,000 in fantasy money to draft the best 5-driver team that you can possibly draft. And if you sign up right now, you will get a $10 gift card to Longhorn Gear. You can shop at Longhorn Gear to get yourself something real nice, Clark. Something real nice. There it is, DirtDraft.com. New and reactivated subscribers as well. It's a lot of fun. I'm not very good at it, but you know what? I still like to play. DirtDraft.com. Draft the best fantasy team of 5 dirt late model drivers that you can possibly draft. Go check them out here today. Again, we want to send a big thank you out to the good folks at Growl Incorporated, Growl Chevrolet. Once again, the title sponsor for this evening's Growl Chevrolet 50 laps, $20,000 to win tonight. A few other housekeeping items real quick. 50/50 tickets are on sale throughout the grounds. And you are not only taking a chance at winning a lot of money, but you are donating towards a great cause as well, as the Illinois Special Olympics are the beneficiary of the 50/50. So open up your hearts and open up your wallets if the good Lord allows you, and take a chance at winning a little bit more money than you rolled in here with. As again, the Illinois Special Olympics are the beneficiaries of the 50/50, and over $500 already in the 50/50. So there you go. Take a chance. Columbus did. And get yourself some of those 50/50 tickets. Just real quick, a few other housekeeping items. Don't forget to stop by the Speedway concession area. Taft concessions on hand with the hamburgers, cheeseburgers, ribeyes, pork tenderloins that you've come to know and love. In addition to the food stands, popcorn, snow cones, and a whole lot more located here in the main vendors area. Also stop by the Lincoln Speedway souvenir stand. They've got earplugs, checkered flags, sprint cars, late models, necklaces, Lincoln Speedway decor, and a whole lot more there. That's the Lincoln Speedway souvenir stand. And the beer corral, which is located in the vendors row area behind the main grandstands, and that is towards the turn 1 area. Stop down there and get your favorite adult beverage, just like Boswood. He likes those red, white, and blue wine coolers. They've also got Twisted Teas, Truly Lemonades, and your favorite adult beverage back there at the beer corral. And one final housekeeping announcement: the Logan County Fairgrounds is a smoke-free facility. Therefore, there is no smoking allowed in the grandstand area. If you would like to have a smoke, and that includes vaping as well, by the way. If you would like to smoke or have a vape, you must do that in the main concourse area behind the main grandstand. So once again, a big thank you going out to Growl Chevrolet for jumping on board and sponsoring the Growl 50 once again this season. And we have made the call for the late models to make their way to staging for Dirt Draft Hot Laps here tonight in front of a massive crowd here at the Logan County Fairgrounds.
These race fans said, move over, Mother Nature. We're coming out. We're coming out to the Growl Chevrolet Showdown here. And again, this will be the 5th year of this race, and we've had a different winner every time.
Every year, yeah.
Every single year. Perhaps we'll have another one here tonight. And we appreciate everybody coming out here. We talked about it last year. Devin Moran, he got his first win here at Lincoln Speedway last year. And then, of course, Bobby Pierce won it in 24, Huddy won it in 23, and Dennis Erb Jr. in 22. And I tell you what I love, if you look to your left down toward turn number 4, you see super late models making their way into the staging lanes. Dirt Draft Hot Laps just around the corner. I tell you what, Tiffany, we'll step aside real quick. We'll hit reset, we'll catch our breath, and super late model Hot Laps coming up next here from Lincoln Speedway on FloRacing. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Lincoln Speedway and welcome to the racing surface. FloRacing Night in America's super late models as the racetrack's ready. The first wave of dirt draft hot laps making their way out. And they're going to roll the racetrack a little bit. DJ, if you get your dirt draft lineup in yet.
I did. I actually just talked about that. I do have it. I got my starter lineup.
Your starter? Got it.
Got my starter
Perfect.
lineup. I run that, I don't know, I can't remember if it's the veteran line. I run the league that's right in the middle. You have 3 different leagues to choose from.
Senior citizen.
It could be it as well. I like the one right in the middle.
Okay. I like the one where it's wild card. You pick before the draw opens, you're picking.
Well, that's why you're no good.
I'm no good at any of them. Well, the first car that you see on your screen, the 3S in the middle of the back straightaway, Brian Shirley out of Chatham, Illinois, 4-time Summer Nationals champion. And Brian on the road with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series this year, the Bob Cullen Racing, Hoker Trucking, Thompson Express, Valvoline, J&E Construction, car number 3S for the Squirrel, Brian Shirley. And he's no stranger to victory lane here. And right behind him is good buddy and travel partner, also from the Lucas Oil Series, Kyle Bronson out of Brandon, Florida, the LTX Home Builders, Race Car Engineering, Boswell Oil, Atomic Music Group, All Guy Performance, Michael Lloyd, Hauling and Demolition, 40B.
I'm going to wait and see who they put up next on the screen.
Could be anybody.
I think they skipped someone on me, so I'm going to play the odds. Here they go with Dennis Erb Jr. Talked to Heather Line back in the pit area a little earlier, the driver that picked up the win here back in 2022 out of Carpentersville, Illinois, in that Vomac truck sales, McBride Mac. Kaiser Manufacturing, Fox Shocks VP Racing Fuel sponsored number 28. Behind him, we saw the 19M of Brendan Smith out of Dade City, Florida. There's the 99 of Devin Moran. Devin Moran, who got the win here, was it last year?
Last year,
right?
yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. And that Roger Sellers, Lazy Days RV, Big River Steel, CNW Trucking, Millwood Plumbing, and McHugh Chrysler Dodge Jeep sponsored number 99.
Man, after a little bit of a rain delay, there's nothing like the thunder of the cars coming to staging out to the racetrack. And how about the number 89 car? That'll be Opie Mike Spatola out of Manhattan, Illinois. Already got 1 win on the year. That came at Kankakee County Speedway back on April 24th. Big Daddy Scrap, B&D Chemical, Lake Norman Mechanical, TNS Heating and Cooling Refrigeration, Pro Power Rocket XR1, 3-time Fairbury Speedway track champion Mike Spatola.
So 39 drivers in the pit area here this evening, and with this being a smaller, tighter racetrack and with the precipitation we had earlier, they're going to divide them up into 6 hot lap groups to help get this racetrack rolled in. After these 6 sessions of dirt draft hot laps, we will roll into UNP modified hot lap qualifying. Flag stand. Oh, Ryan Shirley has slowed us up, of course, right behind the video board.
That's right.
They always spin, they always stop right behind a light pole.
He's playing
speaker,
peekaboo with you right now,
video
DJ.
board, absolutely.
Little peekaboo down the back straightaway.
All right, well, he's going to make his way back out. They're going to turn these guys loose for the first wave of dirt draft hot laps. Ben talked about it earlier. 12.219 is the track record here at Lincoln Speedway, and that was set way back in 2009 by Dennis Erb Jr.
Yeah, you see Kyle Bronson on your screen, the 40B, because we talked about back out on the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series here in 2026. He's had some luck here on these Illinois bull rings. We'll see tonight if he can pick up another FloRacing with dirt draft hot laps here. 36 cars, had 1 scratch in the pit area. Tim Boomer will not be racing with us tonight. Yeah, so 36 cars in the pit area. And, man, she's going to be fast early on. And as DJ said, we'll keep an eye on that track record that goes back to 2009. It's obviously a little bit of slimy and wet right now. But I think it's going to come in nicely. And we'll see if we can flirt with a new record.
Oh, my. I think we could. I absolutely think we could. Well, tough break for Tim Boomer for sure. As you mentioned, you see the times there on the left-hand part of the screen. Brian Shirley right now going to be the quickest, a 1:4.637 for the defending Prairie Dirt Classic champion, and that Bob and Lisa Cullen, number 3S.
Racetrack, that black dirt likes moisture. It really likes it here tonight.
Who doesn't, right? Who doesn't like that?
Brian Shirley in car 3S. And you see him on your screen. Fastest lap. Getting racetrack sealed in, getting it raced. Probably give these guys few extra laps, especially early on, to pack it in. A couple of laps. 4 heat races tonight, DJ, and they will be 8 laps apiece. Top 4 out of each heat will move off to the main event. 2 B mains, they'll be 10 laps apiece. Cars pending. Top 4 out of each one of those move off to the main event. No provisionals to round 4, which now becomes Fairbury Speedway in July. So no provisionals last night, none tonight, none at Eldora. That's going to be pivotal coming up here in a month. You can remember last year our provisionals there were Ricky Thornton Jr., Jonathan Davenport, and the emergency provisional was Brandon Shepard.
Are those guys good?
3 of the top 4 in points were using provisionals at Eldora. That's a tough field that comes up. But hey, that's why it's the best 8 out of 11 finishes count toward the championship. Perfect attendance, $75,000 for the title, $50,000 without, $137,000 paid out for an 11-race series, man. Not too shabby.
No, absolutely not. And the really cool thing about it is, man, we've got the best from both national tours and beyond here, right? You've got, if I remember right, last year in our top 10 in points, we had 5 drivers from the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. We had 5 drivers from the World of Outlaws Late Model Series as well. And that's really what makes this tour honestly just so awesome, man. It also can make scheduling races and even trying to reschedule races when you need to, kind of like putting together a 2-sided jigsaw puzzle with a piece missing, because very candidly, even though FloRacing does own the Lucas Oil Series, we do our very best to cater to our friends over at the World of Outlaws as well, so that the Bobby Pierces and Nick Hoffmans of the world, Dennis Ertz, can come over and run with us on FloRacing Night in America.
Yeah, schedules are tough. Reschedules, it's easier to find Jimmy Hoffa and Waldo hanging out in a bar in Timbuktu. So Midwest Sheet Metal Caution flies. Those guys will head back. They're going to get ready for Sunoco Racefields qualifying coming up later. Dennis Erb Jr., fastest lap in that set, 14.131.
Are you surprised by that?
I am not, man. I would not be surprised if he wins again here tonight. Next set of cars make their way out to the Speedway. Daniel Adam, 1 win on the year at Highland Speedway back on March 28th out of Peru, Illinois. The Pro Power Racing Engine Rocket, C&J Trucking, Hoker Trucking, Arlem Enterprises, Justin L. Langdon Electrical Contractors, all sponsors on that 75. Behind him, the gentleman that has had tons of hauler issues today, but he's going to look for checkered flag, Nick Hoffman in the 9 out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Current World of Outlaws Late Model Series points leader, the Tide Touring Racing, NOS Energy Drink, Lone Wolf Petroleum, Clements Powered Longhorn for Nick Hoffman.
Driver behind him is going to be the high side hustler, the birthday boy. That's right, out of Bloomington, Illinois. That is Jason Feger. He's got 3 wins this year. Only one of those have come here in the United States.
In this hemisphere.
That's exactly right. And that was at Fairbury. In the Titan Industries SC Online Sales Remtech Enterprises Hoker Trucking sponsored entry. There's the Riggs Motorsports number 76, and that, of course, is big, sexy Brandon Overton. And that Budweiser, Garnto Southern, Riggs Fiber Supply Chain Management, Hardco Construction number 76 for Scott and Jason Riggs.
Welcome to Lincoln Speedway. Sam C. right out of Fort Payne, Alabama. The Coltman Farms Racing Special Needs School of Gwinnett, Autism Awareness, JR Excavating, Clements Powered Longhorn, back-to-back Ice Bowl champion is the driver of the 16. And behind him, in car number 21, Mario Gresham out of Rome, Georgia. And the Cornet Powered Longhorn, Daryl Mackey Excavating and Tree Service, Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, Gridiron Grub and Pub 21. There he is, Mario Gresham, regular from the Hunt the Front series. Thinking about making a run this year as well on FloRacing Night in America. The schedules work out, so it's good to have him up here.
That's cool.
He had some bad luck last night. Broke a rack. They didn't have a spare one, and today his wife Jenny told me they have 2 now. They got 1 in the car and a backup. So that's 21 of Gresham. Fastest lap so far, Dennis Erb Jr., 14.131. And Ryan Shirley, Jason Fager, top of the board. First one in the 13-second bracket, 13.953.
Good look at Daniel Adam there with the Autism Awareness wrap on the side of the number 75. You mentioned Daniel Adam got a win at Highland Speedway there a few weeks ago. As right now, Jason Feger stays atop the leaderboard. What a good birthday present it would be if the high side hustler could get himself a win here tonight. 1:37.72, the quickest lap we've seen turn. How about Mario Gresham in his first ever appearance here at Lincoln Speedway? Second quick in Dirt Draft Hot Laps with a 1:3.980.
Mario told me, he said, I didn't know there was dirt this color on racetracks. There's nothing like, there's a lot of red clay down south. The next set of cars make their way out. 9th in the series standings after last night. How about it for the Moequa Missile? Shannon Babb in car 18. The Dynagro Seed, Petrov Towing, Donnelly Trucking, Getty Landscaping, Vic Hill Powered Longhorn, 3-time Prairie.
All right, here's Smith Groves, Kentucky. Letitia Hughes coming up in the right side. The Ford Mustang, her husband out there in front, the crew chief, the provider, the man that puts it together after he gets done pouring a lot of concrete, comes home to work on this baby. Let's see how he does right here. Terry Eschman will be over there in the left lane out of Emilia, Ohio, the Ford Mustang product over there in the left lane. So we got a couple of Fords ready to go right here in so Extreme Street Eliminator getting ready to go. Here we go. Wow, man. Good light for the young lady in the right lane, but man, then the tires went away. She went 0.45 on the tree. So not bad at all on the tree. Gets out there, gets the thing to motivate, and then the tires blow away on her. So the left lane goes down there at 5.07 at 138 miles per hour, being Terry Eschman. So Catonsburg, Kentucky's Eric Jarvis will be up in that left lane over there. I don't know if that's a stealth bomber or what it is over there. Was that a Honda? They didn't have it on the tech card. Oh, it is. How about that, man? Little baby over there going to the starting line to watch. Extreme Street getting pulled in right there, Jarvis. Here's Tyree Smith coming up. Tyree Smith driving the Chevrolet Camaro, driving the wheels off that Chevrolet Camaro. 459, a pair of them down there. You go down to the 60 foots there, they don't look too shabby, right? 116 for the little Honda. Eric Jarvis, 459.05 and 459.9 in the right side at 165 miles per hour for that category. Extreme Street, and that will bring up so Extreme Street, Nick Michael will be over here. Corydon, Indiana will be in the left lane, ready to go. So track official's going to go down there and check out a little something over there against the wall. We'll get back into competition here in qualifying. Round number 1, Extreme Street Eliminator. And Michael will have to wait his turn here in a second. Here comes our track official back, and then we will proceed to qualify. Once again, check your pockets. If you lost a phone, we found a phone in the pit area up here in the second floor of the tower. Describe it, we'll give it back. Check for your phones in the pit area. Someone said they found a phone laying there. It's up here at the second floor of the tower. That brings up Lonnie Nave also. Nave will be over there in the Malibu, sitting here on the right side of the racetrack. Is Lonnie Nave out of Philpott, Kentucky. He'll be in the right lane. And they'll back up in the left side. Nick Michael, Gordon, Indiana, will be based over there, doing his deal. Little Ford Mustang. Extreme Street, we're in qualifying round number 1. All right, Butters ready to go there. Nick Michael ready into the top lights. He's in the Ford Mustang. Green lights are flying. Look at the Malibu. Look at that thing huffing and puffing. Naves going down there. What a run. 460, 152 miles per hour. 109, 77 on the 60-foot in that thing, man. That thing's boogieing. Not bad at all for Lonnie Nave. 57 was quicker with a 6, 145 for Michael out of Gordon, Indiana. He was in the left lane. That'll bring up our next 2 cars right here in Extreme Street, I think. All right, final pair of Extreme Street Eliminator. Jeff Gliver coming up here. Liver. You can correct me on that. That's a good looking car, man. Nice looking ride, that Chevrolet Camaro right there. All right, Jeff. All right, Jeff Glover. If it was Jeff Glover, it would have been a drinking problem, but that's all right.
We drive tech. We drive the industry, going beyond the limits and advancing forward. A versatile all-in-one solution. We're here for you every step of the way. And that's why you see Fuel Tech everywhere.
Redline oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Proven by me. Formulated to win, proven by me. Proven by me.
Proven by me.
Proven by me. Proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Thank you very much. And
You're glad to have me. Thank you.
Yeah, glad to be here, and glad we could get this underway. As 27, 3 groups, 27 modifieds here. They do it a little different. They're going to take the top 6 out of 3 heats. That's 18 cars. They'll take the top 6 out of a B main. That's 24. Might not even need a B main later on, so we'll just have to wait and see. But the norm here at Lincoln Speedway, not Norm Horn that used to be here at Lincoln Speedway, but the norm is starting 24 cars. So, yes. So 3 groups, 9 cars apiece, and boy, do we have some great cars as we did one night ago. Cole Falloway will be up first here in group number 1. Got a couple of drivers from Florida. The Bernhardts are here from Florida. Brian Bernhardt, a 9-time East Bay champion, both in late models and modifieds. Also going to be out there for Group 1, former champ flying Brian Lynn. Marshall Call, the couple of weeks ago, he won the very first modified feature of the year. So good to have the Springfield, Illinois driver Marshall Call back and ready to go. Of course, Ray Bollinger, synonymous with success, is also here. Last year's winner, Drake Troutman, driving that Jerry Foster's car number 5 out of Hindman, Pennsylvania. He is also here as well, Drake Troutman. So
I've never done it up there before.
we get set and
All right, well, modified hot laps just right around the corner. Going to step aside real quick when we come back. Rolling the track in right now. Modified hot laps from here at Lincoln Speedway. FloRacing Night in America. Mod hot lap qualifying up next.
welcome back, race fans, to FloRacing Night in America here at Lincoln Speedway. Modifieds taking center stage, qualifying underway. Going to be hot lap qualifying. First out of the gate going to be 66 Cole Falloway. Also going to be on the speedway is 35 former champion of Brandon Roberts, and that driver, ICAR B69, about it for Brian Bernhardt. Brian Bernhardt, a former East Bay champion 9 times in both late models and modifieds. Cole Falloway, a 14.515 at a 1.4515. And according to track record, is 14.040. So A little bit off of that, but still really moving along here. Brandon Roberts going to be second quick at 14.867. But out of Owensboro, Kentucky, no doubt Cole Falloway, 1.4448, going to be a tough time to beat. He's your fastest in Group 1. Next up in that Royal race car, going to be the B5 of Matt Baker, 2 wins a year ago. He'll be followed out former track champion Flying Brian Lynn out of Mason City in car number 14. And behind of him, we saw him in action one night ago out of Brimfield. Race fans in 10, it's Chris Moorfield. So what Matt Baker can do in the B5. There's the probably the winningest, one of the winningest modified drivers here at Lincoln Speedway. That'll be Brian Lynn, the veteran, in car number 14, former champion. And a good look at the 10H as we talked about Chris Moorfield. First lap times, Matt Baker going to be second quick here in Group 1. 6th quick for Chris Moorfield. Final lap for Baker. Quick time at a 14.437. 1.4437. Matt Baker. Good lap for Matt Baker. Brian Lynn 4th. Chris Moorfield 5th. But race fans, how about it for the B5? Matthew Baker in B5 quickest. Out of Springfield, it'll be the 96 of Marshall Call, the veteran Ray Bollinger in car number 77. And behind of him, your Kankakee County Speedway track champion. How about it for Stephen Brooks in 5? First up, going to be the 96C of Marshall Call. Opening night winner here at Lincoln Speedway. He'll be followed out by the veteran Ray Bollinger. Also a feature winner here at Lincoln Speedway. And behind of him, as we mentioned, the 5 is Stephen Brooks. Got a win already at Kankakee County Speedway. Had 5 wins a year ago, did the 5 machine, and he was your champion at Kankakee County Speedway. Ray Bollinger going to be 3rd quick. Checking in on Marshall Call. He is 7th quick. Bollinger 3rd. And Stephen Brooks going to be our final qualifier. In Group 1, 5th quick for Stephen Brooks. So that'll do it for Group 1. Matthew Baker, the fastest. Cole Falloway 2nd. Ray Bollinger 3rd. Brandon Roberts 4th. And Stephen Brooks 5th. So Matthew Baker going to be the fastest in Group 1. Hey, 50-50, $635. Thank you very much. Special Olympics, Illinois. So you're benefiting here tonight. Get a 50-50 ticket. It's over $600. And again, congratulations, Matt Baker, the fastest car in Group 1. Here we go with Group 2. Another Springfield, Illinois driver. Feature win at Christian County State Fair. That was Brian Dively. Brian Dively in car number 11 rolling onto the Speedway. He'll be followed out by the vanquished ZR3 Shop Angry Duck car 2-4. That'll be Zeke McKenzie. Zeke McKenzie, a feature winner at Hendry County down there in Florida. And our 3rd car out here in Group number 2 is the Jerry Foster-owned car number 5, Drake Troutman. Drake Troutman, your feature winner 1 year ago, right here in this event at Lincoln Speedway. Brian Dively, a 14.639, 1.4639. Zeke McKenzie, 2nd quick at a 1.4648. And how about Drake Troutman, 14.554, the quickest, 1.4554. Again, the track record at 14.0, so they got a ways to go. Zeke goes 2nd. And he will check in, and Drake Troutman's final lap is the quickest. 1.4540 going to be the time to beat McKenzie and Dively. 1.4540 here in Group 2. Now the time to beat. Rolling onto the Speedway. Out of Mifflintown, Pennsylvania in the 35. That is a lethal chassis. That's David Strimmy. The Magic Man, an elite chassis, a 96N. That'll be Mike McKinney. And our final our next qualifier rolling onto the Speedway will be the 28B of Jason Brookover, the Mid-Ohio Valley Hot Shoe. Several championships out there. Glad to have him racing with us here this weekend. We'll see how he does. First up, going to be David Strimmy off turn number 4. He'll go 4th quick. Checking in on Mike McKinney. 3rd quick for McKinney. Good time to beat, 14.540. Brookover going to go 6th. Kind of a loaded 2nd group here. David Strimmy, quick time at a 14.430. McKinney now the fastest, 14.394. And Jason Brookover with a good time as well, 14.507. But how about it, ladies and gentlemen, the Magic Man, Mike McKinney, now the fastest, 14.394 in 96. Our next car rolling out, final 3 cars in Group 2. Going to be Gavin Parmalee, 3 B-Mod wins at the Fairbury Speedway a year ago. Followed up by the 5B out of Mineral Wells, West Virginia, Bobby Bagley. And former Kankakee County Speedway champion, now promoter, how about it, for Billy Knippenberg. So we'll see as they get up to speed some of the times. Gavin Parmalee, again, racing with the B-Mods there at the Fairbury Speedway, trying to get some laps with these A-Mods. He'll be 7th quick. And problems for the Mineral Wells driver, Bobby Bagley, will stay green. Billy Knippenberg 7th. Bobby Bagley 8th. Gavin Parmalee 9th. See if Parmalee can improve here on his final lap. He'll be 8th quick. Checking in on Bobby Bagley as he bobbles off 4. That was tough to say. He'll be 9th quick. And Billy Knippenberg, I believe, will get 1 more lap. And no, the K is not silent, is it? The K is not silent, so we figured that out today. We went and asked.
Listen, you said it. I knew it was the truth, but you went straight to the source and asked him,
yes.
And he said it is Knippenberg, not Knippenberg.
Yep. Knippenberg.
Knippenberg.
We got a quick replay. No, we don't. So Billy Knippenberg and the BDK Tools will get his final lap here. All-Star Performance. Knippenberg 7th, and he'll remain 7th. McKinney, Strimmy, Brookover, Troutman, McKenzie, Dively, your top 6 in a loaded Group 2. So that is final in Group 2. Mike McKinney, the fastest at 14.394. Strimmy, Brookover, Troutman, and McKenzie round out your top 5. A final group of qualifying for the modifieds will be led out by Brody Bernhardt, Blake Brown in 99, and Kyle Barker in 27. Driver hails out of Cooksville. First up, Brody Bernhardt, 2 wins at Hendry County. The driver hails out of Clearwater, Florida, in car number 69. Next on the Speedway, driver having a great run last night. Unfortunately, got a tangle with the Infield tractor tire there. The 99 out of Corbin, Kentucky, Blake Brown, 6 wins already over several different divisions. But keep your eyes on the 99 here tonight. He's quickest, 14.754. And Kyle Barker out of Cooksville in the 14.797, 14797 for the 2.7, again out of Cooksville. Blake Brown, we'll see if he can lower his lap. He does, 14.616. Kyle Barker, 14.636. He'll be 2nd quick, and Brody Bernhardt, 15.085 is 3rd. Next cars rolling onto the Speedway in the 01J. Jay Smooth, glad to have him on track. Jeremy Nichols battling some health issues. 99, that'll be Hunt Gossam out of Maysville, Kentucky. And the 72A, that'll be Austin Lynn. Austin Lynn with a couple of wins here at Lincoln Speedway. Several wins over his career. The Lynn name with a lot of speed here at Lincoln. Of course, checking in on G.A. Smooth, Jeremy Nichols. He'll be 3rd quick. Good lap for him. Hunt Gossam, quick time at a 14.450. One of the fastest times we've seen so far. How about Austin Lynn, 14.551. He knows his way around the Lincoln Speedway. 5th quick for Jeremy Nichols. Can Blake Brown go, or excuse me, can Hunt Gossam go even faster? Yes, 14.322, 14322. And how about Austin Lynn, 14.526. So good lap for the 99 of Hunt Gossam.
It looked like maybe he had a little bit of fuel leaking. I don't know, they had the fuel cap on that race car.
Well, I definitely have to check that out in the infield. Carter Sinkhorn, I believe. Or, excuse me, Phineas Tippett, Carter Sinkhorn, and Michael Ledford scheduled to be our final 3 qualifiers. Looks like they have made it out. First up, going to be Phineas Tippett. Driver hails out of Decatur, Illinois in 45. Behind of him, car on screen, going to be the 19C at Carter Sinkhorn. He had 3 wins a year ago, 2 of them coming at Macon, 1 of them coming at Jacksonville. Carter Sinkhorn on that beautiful wrap 19C. And final car, the Madman, Michael Ledford, that Royal race car had 16 wins a year ago. Second in Mars Modified Championship Series points was the 09 of the Madman, Michael Ledford. And problems for Sinkhorn there as him and Phineas Tippett racing. And we'll check in on quick time for Michael Ledford. The last car is the fastest. Save the best for last, race fans. The fastest time of the night comes on the last race car, 1:42.39. The Madman Michael Ledford in that Royal race car is the fastest in Group 3. Give him a nice round of applause. He was the fastest overall. 1:42.39. Michael Ledford. Late model guys are coming up, and this track is fast.
Yeah, it's fast right now. And you have 3 modified heat race lineups determined. 2,000 win tonight for those guys. Well, your first few qualifiers tonight in the Super Late Model Division going to look like this. Up first, it'll be Brian Shirley out of Chatham, Illinois in the 3S, the 19M. Brendan Smith, the Dade City, Florida driver. Devin Moran will come out third tonight. The driver out of Dresden, Ohio, Mike Spatola, the Manhattan, Illinois driver, will come out after him in your 5th qualifier tonight. Dennis Erb Jr., and we'll keep an eye, track record 12.219. Dennis Erb Jr. holding on to that record and has been there since 2009. That's when you feel old, when if a record falls tonight, it would fall at 17. It would fall 17 years after it was set, and it was, yeah, think about that.
A 12.2
That's
lap.
amazing.
That's a full second quicker than we saw anybody go in hot, for the most part, in hot laps. That's hauling the mail around here.
Pretty wild stuff. I understand our staff's working. I mean, if they've been busy today, our own very own Jake Corndog Green, he's been very busy today.
Oh, look at
Corn
there he
Dog.
is.
Look at Corn Dog down there.
He is.
Look at
you
the
are on.
Look at the
That's right.
Flowtron, buddy. Yeah, look at you. Hi, Mom.
Work, young man. Do work, young man.
Jake and his dad, Mike, man, they're hard workers. I've known them for a long time.
Great
Fairbury
people.
Speed. It's hard to say that. Jake's not that old, but since he's like 2 years old, he's been out there working at Fairbury Speedway with his dad. So first qualifier tonight, Brian Shirley out of Chatham, Illinois, the Bob Cullen Racing, Hoker Trucking, Thompson Express Valvoline, J&E Construction, J&J Ventures and Gaming, Allgaier Performance entry. Winning the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series this year. And who knows, might make a run at FloRacing Night in America. Depends on how tonight goes in the next few races. Brendan Smith in car 19M, your 2nd qualifier tonight. Also Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series regular, the JCM Motorsports, Yellowhammer Design and Construction, Big Daddy's Cattle, Wicks, the Mercantile, Bob Miller, Neon Bubbles Car Wash, Stacked, brand new sponsor of the B-Mains.
Let's go.
And Tiger Shocks and Springs and Drive Barstow, all sponsors of the 19M. As 3 qualifiers, the 99 will be Devin Moran out of Dresden, Ohio. Millwood Plumbing, Big River Steel, Hazen Services, Bill Stein, CW Trucking, Storage King, McHugh Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, Fiat, Phillips, CPA, Elliott Farms, Bomag, all sponsors on Devin Moran, the 5-time winner and defending Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion.
Cars enter the racetrack here, Ben, at the beginning of the front straightaway, so they get 1 full lap to get themselves up to speed. First driver to trip the trigger is going to be Brian Shirley. 13.112, Brendan Smith, 13.405. And the defending winner of this race, Devin Moran, 13.101. That is quick as the first trip around this quarter-mile bull ring. Shirley back to the top of the leaderboard, 1.3049. Brendan Smith, his best lap, 1.3217. And Devin Moran with a sub 13-second lap, 12.838. That's the time to beat for Dresden, Ohio's Devin Moran, 1.2838.
Up next, Mike Spatola out of Manhattan, Illinois, the 89. The 28 of Carpentersville, Illinois, Dennis Erb Jr. And the T2 not going to race tonight, Tim Boomer. So that means Kyle Bronson will join him in the 40B. Mike Spatola, the Big Daddy Scrap, B&D Chemical, Lake Norman Mechanical, TNS Heating and Cooling Refrigeration, Illinois State Rifle Association, Country Chevrolet, Pro Prow Racing Engine, Rocket Chassis, Dennis Erb Jr. He's in the Vomac Truck Cell, McBride Mac, PRC, Riverton Party, Store Kaiser Manufacturing, Fox Shocks, Crimmets Powered Rocket. And joining on the Speedway, Kyle Bronson out of Brandon, Florida, the 40B, the LTX Home Builders, Race Car Engineering, Boswell Oil, Atomic Music Group, Car 40B.
Opie going to be second quick on lap number 1. Dennis Erb Jr. 4th fastest, and KB40 running around the high side goes 3rd quick. Second trip around for the 3-time Fairbury Speedway track champ Mike Spatola, not as good, 12.923. He's second fastest. Dennis Erb Jr. 5th quick. His best lap 1:3.185, and Kyle Bronson will jump to third fastest. His best lap 1:3.028 after 6 cars. Devin Moran still the time to beat 1:2.838.
Up next out of Peru, Illinois, Daniel Adam in the 75. Fort Payne, Alabama, Sam Seawright in the 16. And Jason Fager, the birthday boy out of Bloomington, Illinois in the 25. Car 75 at Daniel Adams, C&J Trucking, Hoker Trucking, Arnold Enterprises, Justin L. Lane, Electrical Contractors, HD Equipment, Integris, Risk Solutions, Pro Power Racing Engine, Rocket. 1 win this year for that driver. Sam Seawright, the Coleman Farms Racing, Special Needs School of Gwinnett, Autism Awareness, JR Excavating, Cove to Coast Marine, and Bill Stein. Clements Powered Longhorn for Sam Seawright, back-to-back Ice Bowl champion, and Jason Fager, 3-time now in a row Mars champion in car 25. 3 wins on the year, the Titan Industry. SC Online Sales, Outpace Racing Products, Rimtech, Go Lithium, Clements Longhorn.
Seawright's going to be 4th. Daniel Adam is going to be 6th. The birthday boy, Jason Fager, will be 9th. Lap number 2, Daniel Adam, best lap, 6th quick, 1:3.050. Sam Seawright checks in 4th fastest. His best lap 1:3.047. And Jason Fager is going to be 9th quick out of 9, 1:3.224 is the best lap for Bloomington, Illinois. Jason Fager after 9 cars. Devin Moran, Mike Spatola, Kyle Bronson, top 3.
Up next, Brandon Overton out of Evans, Georgia in the 76, the 9, and Nick Hoffman out of Mooresville, North Carolina in the 21, and Mario Gresham out of Rome, Georgia. Brandon Overton, the Longhorn, Clements Powered, Budweiser, Riggs Fiber, Riggs Motorsports, Garnto Southern, Mississippi Valley Transportation, Dude White's, Harco Construction, Supply Chain Management, RW Powell Construction, car 76, 7 wins this year for that driver. Nick Hoffman, current World of Outlaws points leader with 6 wins this year. The Ty Toward Racing, Nos Energy Drink, Lone Wolf Petroleum, CW Trucking, Petrov Towing, Rimtech Enterprises Race Car, and Mario Gresham out of Rome, Georgia in the 21. The Darrell Macking Excavating and Tree Service, Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, Actors Record Service, Gridiron Iron and Pub, Hornet Powered Longhorn.
Brandon Overton, 3rd quick. Nick Hoffman, 9th fastest. And Super Mario Gresham, 12th quick after lap number 1. Lap 2 for Big Sexy. He was 3rd. He'll stay 3rd. Best lap 12.950. Nick Hoffman was 9th. He'll leapfrog up 1 to 8, 13.110. And Mario Gresham will stay 12th. His best lap is a 1:3.315. 12 drivers in. Devin Moran still the time to beat, 12.838.
Up next out of Moweaqua, Illinois, Moweaqua Missile, Shannon Babb in the 18. Springfield, Illinois, Zach Taylor in the ZT1. And the 38J of Springfield, Illinois, Jake Little. Shannon Babb in car 18, the Donna Gross C, Petrov Towing, Donnelly Trucking, Getty Landscaping, Keeper Ultra Oil, Nutrient Ag Solutions, CJI Piping and Fabrication, Big Hill Powered Longhorn, joined by the ZT1 of Zach Taylor out of Springfield, Illinois, the Algar Performance, Troy Page Excavating, Legacy Wealth Management, A Hideout, Pro Power Racing Engine Rocket, and Jake Little in the 38J. He's got Pro Power Racing Engine Rocket Chassis, Brandt's Professional Agriculture, Rick's Fiber, Tammy's Treasure and Antiques, All-American Handyman, and more at Schultz Collision Center.
Shannon Babb, 2nd quick, good lap. Yeah, Zach Taylor is going to be 14th, and Jake Little is 15th quick. What's Babb got on lap 2? No, not quite as good. 12.871 is going to be his best lap time. He stays 2nd quick. Zach Taylor stays 14th, 1:3.351, and Jake Little moves up to 13th. His best lap is a 1:3.232. 15 drivers in. Devin Moran still the time to beat.
Final 3 qualifiers in Group A are going to look like this. Hudson O'Neill out of Martinsville, Indiana, in the 71. The 17A of Memphis, Lewistown, Missouri's Austin Howells, and the 15S of Clay Stuckey out of Shreveport, Louisiana. Hudson O'Neill, the SSI Motorsports, Weaver Metals, Mineral Bonding, Subsurface of Indiana, Beeman Lumber, Professional Concrete Cutting and Drilling, Big River Steel, Clements Powered Longhorn, currently leading the Lucas Oil Lake Dirt Series standings in the nation with 13 wins. Austin Howells in car 17 out of Lewistown, Missouri, 17 Racing, On Track Nutrition, HR Enterprises, Pro Power Longhorn, and Clay Stuckey, the Longhorn by Stuckey. Clements Powered entry out of Shreveport, Louisiana, 1 win on the year. Advanced Powder Cutting, Mooring Transit, Lucas Oil, FiberTech Laser Cutting, Graphic Arts Express, and Stuckey Enterprises, Pro Globe 15 for Stuckey.
Hudson O'Neill 3rd, Austin Howells 15th, Clay Stuckey 16th. Lap number 2. Does Hudson O'Neill have anything for Devin Moran? He does!
Wow.
Hudson O'Neill, quick time, 1:2.748. Austin Howells 15th with a 13.255, and Clay Stuckey 16th with a 1:3.286. And how about that? Your quick time in Group A comes out of the final group. It's Hudson O'Neill with a 1:2.748. Devin Moran, 2nd quick, 12.838. How about the Moweaqua Missile? Shannon Babb, 3rd fastest. with a 1:2.871. Then it's Mike Spatola, Brandon Overton, Kyle Bronson, Sam Seawright, Brian Shirley, Daniel Adam, and Nick Hoffman. If those times hold up, it will be Hudson O'Neill and Shannon Babb on the front row of heat race number 1, and Devin Moran and Mike Spatola on the front row of heat race number 2.
Well, just like that, the heat race grids are set for 1 and 2. Man, we got some throttle mashers tonight. DJ, Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying Group B. This determines the lineup for heat races 3 and 4. Your first qualifier will be Ryan Gustin out of Marshalltown, Iowa. He'll be joined by Midland City, Illinois' Robin Huffman in the 33H, and the 15 of Justin Duty out of Malino, Oregon. Ryan Gustin, you can see along board of Carson Hocevar in the Chili 77, Aspire Motorsports entry, sitting back there and staging. Ryan Gustin will be up first, currently 3rd in the World of Outlaws standings, 4 wins with 4 different sanctions. He's turned up the wick over the past few weeks. Allen Seamless Gutters, Hoker Trucking, Dynamic Drivelines, Carl Chevrolet, Performance Bodies, Custom Fabricating and Repair, and Mel Hambleton Racing. 19R, the J. Dickens, under the hood of Infinity by Wells, number 19R for the Reaper. The 33H of Robin Huffman, the A to Z Painting and Decorating, Rocket Chassis out of Midland City, Illinois, and Justin Duty all the way out of Malino, Oregon. The First Class Septic, Don Frank Forge, Darren Mardell Williams, Jeff Stewart Trucking, Robert Speed Company, FK Roddins, Finish Line Graphics, Pro Power Longhorn for Justin Duty. Last few cars heading across the scales. And man, I tell you what, HUD means business in 2026, DJ. 13 wins in multiple rides.
Yeah.
You know, he's won with SSI, obviously. He's won with Rumley. And I think if we put a car together that he would definitely do better than us, and he would probably win.
Well, there's no doubt. I don't know, man. And we're not real good at putting cars together. But here's what I do know. He is really good right now in that SSI Motorsports 71. You mentioned him getting the wins for Kevin Rumley as well. Group B about to make their way on the track as we get Clay Stuckey off the scale area and back into the pit area. So again, the field split in half for FloRacing Night in America. The first half of the field is Group A. They've qualified against each other, and that sets the lineups for heat races 1 and 2. We'll wipe the slate clean, and we will now qualify the back half of the field. This will be Group B, and the way these drivers qualify will determine the heat race lineup, or will determine the starting lineups for heat races 3 and 4 coming up here this evening. And as Ben mentioned, this first trio of drivers making their way on to the racetrack.
So Ryan Gustin, Robin Huffman, Justin Duty, that's your first 3. And again, this group of cars, this will make up heat races 3 and 4 here tonight. FloRacing Night in America, Lincoln Speedway, a covered wagon capital of the world, if you will, the biggest covered wagon. Where do you think the biggest non-covered wagon can be found at, DJ?
I don't know. Where's the second biggest covered wagon? That's what I want to know. It's a James Essex comment right there. All right, first lap time's about to go up on the board for Sunoco Race Fuels Time Trials Group B. And the first driver to trip the trigger is going to be the Reaper, Ryan Gustin, 13.265. Robin Huffman, 13880. And Justin Duty to the top of the leaderboard, 13.158. Second lap time for Gustin. That's now the time to beat in Group B, 13.153. Robin Huffman's second lap is better, 13.600. He's third quick, and Duty checks in second fastest. His second lap's 1.3158. So Ryan Gustin establishes the early time to beat in Group B, 1.3.153.
Up next out of Sun River, Montana, Michael Leach in the 09. From Lincolnton, North Carolina, Carson Ferguson in the 93. The 20 RT, the Arizona native Ricky Thornton Jr. now residing in Iowa. Michael Leach, the Longhorn Factory Team, Dust Pods, Willow Ranch, Wagyu, Warmbro Motorsports, Owens by Longhorn Dynamics, Hellraiser Jacks, Big Sky Dynamics, all sponsors of the Durham-powered Longhorn. For Michael Leach, got his first super late model win at Volusia back during Speed Weeks. The 93 of Carson Ferguson, the Paywar Motorsports, Hoopall Grady Company, Colton Farms Racing, Buddy's Record Service, Matt Mann Designs, Bill Stein High Tech Special Effects, Solidified Concrete Floor Services, Cornet-powered Longhorn for Carson Ferguson, and joined by Ricky Thornton Jr., former series champion with FloRacing Night in America. The Knights companies, Bill Stein, Hoker Trucking, Elite Ready Mix, Capital Way, Certified Inspection Services, Strange Oval, Hoosier, Coleman Farms, Cornet-powered Longhorn.
Carson Ferguson is fourth quick. Ricky Thornton Jr. the top of the leaderboard, 12.988. And Michael Leach second quick, 13.059. Lap number 2. Carson Ferguson better, fifth quick, 1.3357. RTJ second lap better. 12.791. And the best lap for Michael Leach, second quick, 1.3059. So Ricky Thornton Jr., the new time to beat in Group B. with a 1:2.791.
Check out these next three. Bobby Pierce out of Oakwood, Illinois in the 32. The 77 of Portage, Michigan's Carson Hocevar. And last night's winner, Brandon Shepard at New Berlin, Illinois. Could be a fast time of the night out of this one. Low Voltage Solutions, Churchill Transport, Collins Brothers Towing, Rio Grande Waste Services, Fort Knox Safes and Vaults, Carnegie Towing, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Vickill Power Longhorn for Bobby Pierce, defending series champion. Meanwhile, Carson Hocevar for the NASCAR Cup ranks the Spire Motorsports, Chili's Ride the Dente, Ziegler Auto Group, Gainbridge, Cornet Powered Longhorn 77, and Brandon Shepard, the Rocket One Racing, Performance Grading, Valve, Links, Weber Calf Ranches, Ace Metalworks, Franklin Enterprises, Fox Shocks, Collins Brothers Towing, Gunners Hunting, Performance Concrete, Durham Powered Rocket.
Pierce second, Hocevar eighth. Now Shepard second. Do they have anything for Ricky Thornton Jr. lap 2? Bobby Pierce third quick, 12.987. Carson Hocevar 8:13.532. Brandon Shepard quick time Group B Lincoln Speedway. There's your boy showing out 1:2.750 for the Rocket One, Brandon Shepard.
Up next, Josh Rice out of Clinton, Kentucky in 11R. Dylan McCowan out of Urbana, Missouri in the 8, and the 45 of Clinton, Illinois, Kyle Hammer. Josh Rice and MC Tank Transport, Ratliff Motorsports, Glenwood Electric, JR Motor Sales, Chain Locker, Rice Excavating and Plumbing, and JR Auto Sales, Big Al's Guns, Big Hill Powered Longhorn for Josh Rice, two-time defending Northern All-Star champion. Dylan McCowan out of the Show Me State of Urbana, Missouri. The Sonic, Pomeroy Services, BLC Transportation, Empire Energy, Elite Construction, Heritage Traffic, McCowan Farms, Midwest Sheet Metal, all sponsors of the Scott Bailey Powered Longhorn, and Kyle Hammer in car 45, the Durham Powered Rocket, Hammer Crypto Club, Cooley Dump Service, Elite Contracting Services, Pee Wee's Record Service, car 45.
Rice 7th, McCowan 5th, Hammer 11th after lap number 1. Lap 2, Rice better, 6th quick, 13.110. McCowan 5th quick, best lap 1:3.106. And Kyle Hammer, lap number 2. I don't know that it was as good. Kyle Hammer's best lap 11th quick, 1:3.537. Ben Sheppy, Thornton, Pierce the top 3.
Up next, Dan Ebert out of Lakeshore, Minnesota in the 60-74X of Bakersfield, California's Ethan Dodson, and Frankfort, Illinois' Frank Heckenus Jr., the 99 Junior. Dan Ebert, Collins Brothers Towing, Minnesota Truck Headquarters, Amsoil, Woody's Racing, Fox Shocks, General Formulations, Country Pride Excavating, Durham Powered Rocket, XR1, a regular with the Lucas Oil Series, regular with Floor Night in America this year as well. The 74X of Ethan Dodson, the ASD Motorsports, Spirit Rifles, Taco John's, Excel Ford Covering, North Augusta Customs, Brad Benton Trucking, entry 7th with the World of Outlaws this year is Ethan Dodson, and Frank Heckenus Jr., the 99 Junior, the Storage Squares USA, Indy U Pullet, Fastenal, Dirt Oval 66, VG Performance, Big Hill Powered Longhorn.
First lap times going up on the board. Heckenus is going to be 10th. Ebert was 8th. He goes up to 7th on lap 2, 13.142. 10th quick for Ethan Dodson on lap 1. He stays 10th quick, but betters his lap, 1:3.192. And Frank Heckenus Jr. does the same. He was 11th on lap 1. He stays 11th, 1:3.214. 3 drivers left. Brandon Shepard still the time to beat, 12.750.
Final 3 qualifiers of the night out of Corbett, Oregon. The 14S of Colin Weinbarger. New Waverly, Texas is Tyler Urban, the 1T, and Garrett Alberson out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. Weinbarger, the Stram Motorsports, Swan Island Sheet Metal Works, Stram Brothers Excavating, Reed's Automotive, Bilstein Checker Flag Asphalt, Clements Power Longhorn. 5 wins last year for that driver. Tyler Urban, the 1T. Waverly, Texas, Best Performance Motorsports, Lane Filter Mechanical Contractors, First Class Septic, Anthony's Pizza, Coles County Speedway, Robert Speed Company. 1 win this year for him. And Garrett Alberson, the 58, with 1 win this year. Brack Properties, Low Voltage Solutions, Bill Sports Shop, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Romer Machine and Welding, Bilstein, Midwest Sheet Metal, and Arbor Auto Works.
It was 12th quick for Weinbarger, 4th quick for Turbo, 13th for Alberson. What's Turbo got on lap 2? Weinbarger is going to be 8th quick. Good lap, 1:3.139. Tyler Erb stays 4th quick, 1:3.035. And Garrett Alberson jumps up to the top 3. Good lap, 12.982.
And he did that and he caught the wall.
Yeah, well, he used it to propel off the corner. And that's a wrap on Sunoco Race Fuels Time Trials Group B. Unofficially, your quick qualifier in Group B. Out of New Berlin, Illinois, Brandon Shepard with a 12.750. Ricky Thornton Jr. 2nd, Garrett Alberson 3rd, Bobby Pierce 4th. Then it was Turbo, Michael Leach, Dylan McCowan, Josh Rice, Colin Weinbarger a good lap, and Dan Ebert going to round out the top 10. That means as long as everybody crosses the scales and passes Tech A-OK, Heat race number 3 should have Brandon Shepard and Garrett Albertson on the front row, and Heat 4 would have Ricky Thornton Jr. and Bobby Pierce, oh my, leading them to the green. We're going to step aside for a quick set of commercial breaks. When we come back, opening ceremonies at Lincoln Speedway. You're watching FloRacing Night in America.
Impact Race Gear is your source for custom race shirts. We are certain that you will see the same things that hundreds of racetracks, teams, organizations, and manufacturers have already discovered. When it comes to quality and service, we simply can't be beat. We are not one of those here today, gone tomorrow print shops. Impact Race Gear has been trusted for years by racers all across the country. Give your fans and sponsors what they deserve. Simply awesome race shirts. Visit us online at impactracegear.com to learn more and start your order today.
MD3, the most advanced body panels on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. MD3, the #1 body choice for top dirt racers.
At Buzzy Racing, it's all blood, sweat, and gears because we're racers first. We're a family business, but more than that, we build what we'd race.
Steering box.
Since 1978, Twig Manufacturing has been the leader in high-performance power steering. Employee-owned and built in the USA, we proudly deliver the best in-class steering equipment. With constant innovation and development, we push performance to the next level because champions demand the best. When precision matters and performance counts, trust the experts. Sweet Manufacturing. Let us turn your wheels.
Welcome back to Lincoln Speedway, Lincoln, Illinois, and once again, the 2026 edition of Illinois Speedway. Packed house here tonight. Fantastic crowd and lightning fast racetrack. We just saw Devin Moran Hudson O'Neal go fastest by 2 1/1000ths of a second overall over Brandon Shepard, who was fast in Group B in Sunoco Race Fuels qualifying. So, man, I tell you what, this racetrack is lightning fast.
Yeah, and a hat tip to the track crew as well. It did just a phenomenal job battling Mother Nature throughout the course of the late afternoon, early evening also, as I believe we're just about ready to get underway with opening ceremonies.
Yes, sir, we are. If you're in the grandstands and you're willing and able, please rise, remove your hats for tonight's invocation in our Star Spangled Banner. Tonight's invocation by Dustin Jarrett.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. If you would, join me as we go to the Lord in prayer. Dear gracious and heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to be here. We ask you at this time, Lord, to just bless us with good weather the rest of the evening, Father. Bless us with a break. We know that there are some parts of this country that do need the rain, but we ask that you just let us get this show in here this evening at Lincoln Speedway. Father, we also ask that you just watch over those that serve this great country of ours, that continue to keep the United States of America the best country in the entire world. Lord, we want you to please watch over these drivers here this evening. They're about to put on a show for us. We need need you to bless them with a blanket of safety, Lord. Let them leave this racetrack as healthy as they walked in here. Watch over those in attendance tonight, the crews, the staff, the spectators as well, as we all depart and go our separate ways. Lord, we thank you for everything that you've given to us, but Lord, the greatest thing in the entire world that you gifted us with is your Son, Jesus Christ. You sent him on the cross of Calvary to die for our sins so that we could have an opportunity to spend eternity with you. We ask all of this in his name, and all the people said, amen. Thank you very much. We will now send a trackside to Mr. Mike Norris.
If you were to remain standing, ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Molly Seaton will sing our country's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
How about a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, Molly Seaton. Well, I tell you what, Mother Nature couldn't hold us back. Lincoln Speedway, are you ready to go racing? Boys, we're fired up. Night number 2 of the FloRacing Night in America Series.
All right, thanks a lot, Mike Norris. Molly, great job down there. And without further ado, let's give you the starting lineup for Integra Shockton Springs Heat Race number 1.
Starting on the pole tonight, Sunoco Race Fuels Fast Qualifier, Hudson O'Neill out of Martinsville, Indiana. And to his outside, how about it for Shannon Babb out of Moweaqua, Illinois, in cart number 18.
Row number 2 on the inside, the driver of the Riggs Motorsports, Budweiser, number 76 out of Evans, Georgia. Big sexy Brandon Overton, and on his outside on his first ever visit to Lincoln Speedway out of Fort Payne, Alabama. And the Brett Coleman Farms Racing, number 16, it's Sam C. Wright.
Starting at center, row 3 out of Peru, Illinois, one-time winner this year. That's Daniel Adam in the 75, and to his outside, former World of Outlaws champion and Dream winner Dennis Erb Jr. from Carpentersville, Illinois, in the 28.
And your final 3 starters, it's going to be Jason Feger, the high side hustler, rolling from position number 7. He's out of Bloomington, Illinois, in the 25. On his outside, out of Lewistown, Missouri, in the 17A, that is Austin Howes. And your final starter out of Rome, Georgia, Super Mario Gresham, in the 21. Mike Norris.
I think he's just excited to be in the infield. He wanted us to feel the thunder, so he turned the microphone on. That's right.
I see what you did there.
So the winner of this one's going to start on the pole here tonight, Hudson O'Neill. He has had a lightning start to the year. Of course, runner-up finish last night. And then he was a 13-time winner this year, currently leading the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series standings, former series champion. And he's got Shannon Babb to his outside. Babb was 9th last night at Spoon River. And I tell you what, Shannon Babb's got a fire under him right now. I talked to him last night after the races, and that driver really focused. He's got a lot of confidence in that car, and they're lined up behind the Race Car Engineering Pace Truck. And again, we want to thank Race Car Engineering, brand new sponsor to the series. Visit them at the brand new website, racecareng.com. Free shipping on freight on orders over $199. Exclusions apply, as well as a state-of-the-art search and categorization. Check them out. Welcome to FloRacing Night in America, Race Car Engineering.
8 laps will be the distance. Top four are going to transfer. The winner of this one will start on the pole of tonight's main event. They go green flag racing in the Impact Race Gear starting zone. Hudson O'Neal and Shannon Babb.
Man, Shannon Babb did not get a good start. Hudson did. Brandon Overton did. Overton to second. Babb back to third. They're chasing Huddy down the back straightaway. Seawright sits in the fourth and final transfer. Meanwhile, Jason Fager trying to dig out of a hole. Seawright catches the concrete. Lap 1 on the board. Hudson, your leader.
Yeah, he absolutely caught the concrete hard, did Sam Seawright. He's going to lose a couple spots as Daniel Adam nearly loses the tail in that race car. On back through the field, that's going to allow Seawright to drive down to the inside. You're looking at the battle for position number 2 is Brandon Overton has it, and Babb tries to take it.
Overton's made comments. He struggles on these little tracks, but I tell you what, he's got speed everywhere this year, DJ.
Yeah.
7 wins already, and he sits in the second spot, and he's got Shannon Babb knocking on the back door. Meanwhile, Jason Fager in the fourth and final transfer.
Absolutely, and those 3 drivers you just mentioned, Brandon Overton, Shannon Babb, Jason Fager, all looking for their first ever win with FloRacing Night in America, and they trail the driver that currently leads the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series point standings, the 71 of Hudson O'Neal.
Meanwhile, side by side, they work down the back straightaway for the second spot. Shannon Babb to the inside of Brandon Overton. Hudson O'Neal cruising out front, 3 to go. Overton's got second, but man, he's got a lot of company.
Yeah, I feel like Shannon Babb right now maybe has a slightly faster race car, just trying to find a way around the driver, the number 76. Meanwhile, Popsicle sticks in the air, 2 laps to go. For your race leader, Hudson O'Neal, and he stretched out to a 1.5 second advantage here at this tight quarter-mile bull ring as he prepares to come around for the Allgaier performance, 1 to go.
Yeah, Huddy's enjoying that caution so far tonight. He's going to enjoy the Allgaier performance, 1 to go, one more time around the Speedway, and Integra Shocks and Springs Heat 1. Overton's got away from Babb. Babb's got a comfortable advantage over Fager.
Absolutely. Checker flag in the air. The winner of Integra Shocks and Springs Heat Race number 1 is going to be the new deal. Hudson O'Neal. Second will go to Brandon Overton. Third to Shannon Babb, followed by Jason Fager, who rounds out your transfer cars. Then it's Sam Seawright, Tyler Erb, Daniel Adam, Mario Gresham, and Austin Howells.
Fourth and final transfer, the birthday boy out of Bloomington, Illinois, Jason Fager in the 25. Third will go to Shannon Babb out of Owego, Illinois in the 18. Second to Brandon Overton out of Evans, Georgia. And your winner out of Martinsville, Indiana, the new deal, Hudson O'Neal. The SSI Motorsports, Wheeler Metals, Merrill Bonding, Subsurface of Indiana, Beam and Lumber, Professional Concrete Cutting and Drilling, Big River Steel, and O'Neal Salvage and Recycling entry. They're going to head down to the scales. Before Mike Norris talks to them, we're going to take a look at the lineup for K1 Race Gear's Heat Race number 2.
Absolutely is. He's going to make his way there. We'll roll through this lineup quickly for you. Here's the lineup for K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2. It's going to be the 99 Devin Moran starting on the pole. This one on his outside, and the 89 Opie Mike Spatola.
Inside of row 2, Kyle Bronson out of Brandon, Florida, and Brian Shirley, the squirrel, out of Chatham, Illinois in the 3S.
The 9 will be Nick Hoffman out of Mooresville, North Carolina on his outside. The 19M out of Dade City, Florida, it's Brendan Smith.
And moving back to row 4, it's Jake Little. Clay Stuckey with Zach Taylor bringing up the tail. Mike Norris has caught up with the winner of Integra Shocks and Springs Heat 1, Hudson O'Neal.
Yeah, starting off from the pole. He was 1 spot short last night. Tonight you're going to be on the pole. Congratulations, big heat race win. This track is fast, and so is that 71.
I was a little nervous about starting on that bottom. I didn't know if the grease was going to be off of it, but actually took off pretty good on the start. And, yeah, so it's we got a bad, fast, hammer-down racetrack tonight, but we got a good starting spot, so hopefully it'll widen out and race all right.
Heat race 1 winner, race fans. How about it, Lincoln Hudson O'Neal?
All right, we've got K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 2 making its way onto the racetrack. Again, 8 laps is the distance. Top 4 are going to race their way in behind the Race Car Engineering Pace Truck. All right, so they are going to take 1 lap around this racetrack, and then we're going to go green flag racing here in 1.5 laps. Ben, the winner of this one starts inside row number 2 of tonight's 50-lap Growl Showdown here at Lincoln Speedway. Big shout out to Grouse Chevrolet once again. They've sponsored this event several years now. If you were in the market for a newer used vehicle, make sure you visit the good folks at Grouse Chevrolet.
I love it. A few little raindrops falling on the surface, so they're going to buzz it, see if make sure the racetrack's ready to go. We're also, to keep things moving, a little executive decision here. We're going to scrap the heat race interviews moving forward. We want to keep things going. We may get a delay at any point, we may not, but we're going to keep things going. I mean, it's outdoor sports at its finest as you try to handle what comes your way. And we've had showers skirting us for the past hour or so. We've had one that came by, and I think it was a little bit of a kiss there. So track officials are checking things out. Yeah, we're going to go with that. It sounds more friendly than rainfall.
I like that. Again, they want to do everything they possibly can to get this show in front of a massive crowd, one of the biggest crowds in the history of Lincoln Speedway. Here this evening, Devin Moran on the pole. He's the defending champion of the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series and the three-time Fairbury Speedway track champ, Opie Mike Spatola, on the outside. And Ben, the race car engineering pace trucks made the hard left-hand turn into the infield, and that means we're about to go 8 laps, top 4 transfer.
Yes, sir, and we'll get the green flag down the impact race gear start zone. We didn't see the Death Ridge Opticians choose cone. We may see it in this one. We'll talk more about that later. Right now, though, K1 race gear heat race number 2. It's Devin Moran. It's Mike Spatola, 8 laps. Winner starts 3rd. Green flags up. 4 transfer to the feature.
Look at Opie trying to get that run on the outside. Devin Moran going to roll right through the middle. Opie going to try to drive under him down to 1 and 2. Not a good start for Brian Shirley. Yeah, he grabs the wall, and that is going to draw the Midwest sheet metal caution as Squirrel just lost part of his tail as he caught the concrete pretty good down in turns 1 and 2. And you see...
Yeah, it looks like all 4 wheels are up, but he did draw the Midwest sheet metal caution, so...
I thought there was damage on the right rear of that race car, but it's honestly not as bad as what I thought it was going to be.
Now, we won't see the Death Ridge Opticians choose cone because we get 0 laps in the books there. And getting things sorted out here.
So again, this is K1 race gear heat race number 2. Devin Moran, Mike Spatola at the front of the field. I thought there maybe for a second that Mike Spatola was going to maybe drive underneath Devin Moran. He did not get an opportunity to do so, though.
All right, so rain falling on the speedway, and that's what they deemed right there to cause Shirley to go up into the wall. So right now we're going to send these guys off the racetrack. We're going to see what Mother Nature brings our way. We got 50-50 down here. $935.
You could
my
see,
goodness.
well, my window's a little foggy over here.
I guess. I hope that was right. Otherwise, I might be covering the difference. I don't know. So get those 50-50 tickets. And so, yeah, a little bit of, you can see the rain coming down on the surface. So it's going to obviously be a break here. If you're not under the cover of the end, we'll give you updates. If you decide to step out, you see the rain coming down in the lights. And we're going to try to get this thing back underway just as soon as we can. But obviously, Mother Nature taking another swing at us right here tonight. We're going to step aside. FloRacing Night in America here at Lincoln Speedway. And yep, you see the rain coming down. We're going to try to be more stubborn than Mother Nature. We'll give you updates. We'll be right back here to Lincoln. Welcome back to Lincoln Speedway and rainy at times. Lincoln, Illinois, FloRacing Night in America, Illinois Speed Week. Had a pretty good shower pop over the racetrack right now. Track crew's out evaluating the racetrack. So here's the situation. We're going to wait it out. We're going to roll the track in, see what we can get. We're going to try to get this back. We're up against the curfew tonight. We need to be lights out by about 10:30. So here's the plan. We're going to keep working the track. We're going to hope we get no more rain. We will run the late model show straight through. If and when we get the track back, we'll run the last 3 late model heats, 2 late model B mains, the 50-lap feature. And if there's any time left on the shelf, we'll come out and we'll do the best with the modifieds. But that is the plan right now. Now, again, it's humid out there now. The rain's falling. We don't know if we can get the track back. We're going to make every effort. You fans have come out. So that's the update. We think it could be probably 40 minutes or so getting the racetrack back right now. And DJ, that's the latest that we've got.
Absolutely. We just want to be as transparent as possible. Promoters Bob Sargent, Adam Mackey said we've got a massive crowd here. We've got folks that have come from a long way. We've also got a curfew in a town that's very generous to us, and we want to stay on their good side. They want to do everything they possibly can to try to get this track back and try to get this show in here this evening. So we appreciate your patience. We'd love to control the weather. Unfortunately, we can't. But this track crew, you see them out on the track. They've been on the track the entire time, even when it was raining, because they do want to do everything they possibly can to get this program in and to beat the curfew here this evening as well. So a few things working against Lincoln Speedway, but a giant hat tip to Bob Sargent and Adam Mackey. They're doing everything possible to see if they can get the program in tonight.
Yeah, it hasn't exactly come a downpour, but it's been a steady light rain. There's a little bit still in the lights you can see, and obviously if the rain doesn't get off of us, we're handcuffed. But we're going to give it a shot. We appreciate you folks so much, and if we got to go a little past 10:30, maybe we'll pass the helmets and raise some money for the town of Lincoln so that they'll forgive us. But please make your way down to Vendor Row, grab you something to eat or drink. If you want to go chill in your car, we'll be giving you updates. And just be careful on the grandstands. Obviously, if you're in sections that have got wet, they can be very slick. We want you to be safe. We brought Tractor Zilla back out, and so we're going to step aside. I tell you what, we're going to step aside. We're going to let them do some track work. And Tiffany Swisher, she does it all, my producer down in the truck. She's got last year's highlights from this event keyed up. So without further ado, let's go to last year's 2025 race here at Lincoln Speedway, FloRacing Night in America, a night where somebody from Ohio was the winner. Let's check it out.
20,000 tonight at Lincoln. I'll tell you what, he's got an Illinois connection, or I should say a Quad Cities connection in that 58 machine. The Roberts Motorsports entry of Las Cruces, New Mexico's Garrett Alberson. He's going to find victory lane tonight. That car has been fast all season long.
All right, DJ.
I'll give you the next pick.
You going to give me the next one?
Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, I think starting inside of row 2, he debuted actually he didn't debut here. He was in the Shepard car last time we were here. Ricky Thornton Jr., first time here in the Kohler Motorsports car, he wins from 3rd.
Wow. Those are all really good picks, guys. But, you know what? I think we are about to have a knockdown, drag-out battle. The winner of this one is going to race his way from the 21st starting spot. Oh, I like playing to the crowd. My pick is going to be the Rocket One of Brendan Shepard.
Yeah, Chevy, if he could do it, man, he would be the 4th different winner here. The fireworks are going off, and we don't have a green flag on the speedway.
There's pyro going off, and we're not racing. What's happening?
There's no green flag.
There's no green.
You're welcome, guys.
Thank you, Mike Norris. First night out of 3, we didn't have fireworks in the first 1 to 7 laps of the feature.
That's
I
right.
love it.
All right.
That's cool.
Good stuff. And at 8:47 p.m. local time.
Let's do it.
We have got this thing ready to rock and roll, man.
This tonight, the 39th all-time event for the series. 12 winners in those 39 years. Bobby Pierce, the winningest driver, with 8. Ricky Thornton Jr. with 7. Jonathan Davenport got his 5th last night. Dennis Erb Jr.'s got 3. Sheppy's got a couple. Devon's won 1. Bronson's won 1. Marlar's won 1. DJ, it's time to be entertained as the lights are out on the speedway.
Indeed it is. Night number 3 of FloRacing Night in America, presented by Kubota. 50 laps the distance, $20,000 on the line. Alberson and Moran bring them to the green.
Green flag is out. We're underway at Lincoln. FloRacing Night in America presented by Kubota. Round 3, and it's Alberson down low. Devin Moran shoots to the outside, down the back straightaway. Devin will be your leader off into 3 and 4. This could be his first ever feature laps led here at Lincoln Speedway. In lap 1 to Ohio's Devin Moran.
Devin Moran, he said he wasn't a big fan of this place, and that might change at the end of 50 laps here. Look at RTJ making it 3 wide down there in the battle for second. Then he goes down to the inside. Brandon Overton on the outside. The 58 gets shuffled out. Moran stays out front at the end of lap 2. Too close to call.
That's right. It looked like barely. Overton holds on to the second spot. He's up top. Thornton down low, back and forth. It's Alberson. Meanwhile, in 5th, Brian Shirley. He's got company back there as they run 2 and 3 wide around this tight quarter-mile bull ring with 3 laps complete.
Yeah, and again, just 2 things you wonder, right? Number 1, how long does it take Devin Moran to get the lap traffic? The answer is not very long. And then number 2, how long does that high side hold up, especially coming off turn number 4? Right now, that's the place to be. Devin Moran ahead of Brandon Overton by 1.7 seconds.
I tell you what, Devin's really running the top side of this racetrack well right now. And you talked about it. At what point will that curve give up? Will it give up? You never can tell about this prairie dirt, what it's going to do. He leads the way, pulling away from the pack. Great battle for second, and that time at the line, Ricky Thornton Jr. inches ahead, I do believe, to get that spot. And now, how about that? Overton, a big run off the top of 2. Alberson's got a front row seat for a heck of a battle for second.
Overton had him actually that last time by 1/1000th of a second. That's less than half a cat's whisker, no doubt about it. This time, it's the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. in second. He is some 2.8 seconds back at Devin Moran.
So that's the good news for Devin. The bad news for Devin is he's on the same straightaway as the back of the pack, and they are 2 by 2 in front of him. And right now, he would love to see one of Chris Davis's Midwest Sheet Metal cautions, perhaps, to group them back together as Thornton continues to work down low. And when Overton hits that top off too, he is really good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the word has come from the track. You can see the rain pick back up again. Unfortunately, Mother Nature is not going to allow us to get this one in. You saw them out there with a valiant effort to try to work the racetrack in. Rain falling again, curfew, backs against the wall. And that means that, unfortunately, we are going to have to pull the plug on this program. Now, everyone in the grandstands and the pit area, please, please, please hang on to your armbands, as series officials and track officials will discuss potential makeup dates over the course of the next few weeks. There's no guarantees. There may not be a date available. We encourage you to check out Lincoln Speedway's social media pages and their website, but please hang on to your armbands, as you will need those if there is a makeup date or if there is not a makeup date, either way. So once again, unfortunately, Mother Nature, you see the rain continuing to fall, will not allow us to get this program in. We are canceled for this evening. Please be careful on your way out. And once again, hang on to those armbands. You absolutely must have an armband, and continue to check the Lincoln Speedway social media pages and website for updates over the course of the next couple weeks. We apologize, race fans. We did everything we could to try to get this show in here this evening, but FloRacing Night in America at Lincoln Speedway has been, at this time, postponed. If you're on your way out, we ask you to please be careful, both leaving the grandstands and exiting the racetrack. We are going to draw the 50-50 as well, so if you bought a 50-50 ticket to support the Illinois Special Olympics, $985 is your share of the 50-50. They're drawing that ticket right now. And the good folks with the Illinois Special Olympics, Jeremy Shields is going to draw the ticket, and they will have it right down here in front of the main grandstands. And that winning ticket number is 0570858. 0570858. Representatives will be waiting just in front of the main grandstands. Again, that is a red ticket, 0570858. Once again, hang on to those armbands. Please be safe on your way out. For those of you watching at home live on FloRacing, this will conclude the broadcast. Unfortunately, we are rained out tonight here at Lincoln Speedway. Thank you and good night.